You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting sets, and come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh at needs, gonna live the dream. Gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song to the break of dawn. Gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting sets, and come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
What's
Is
up,
that
everyone?
I'm
Welcome
sorry, is
back
it?
to PlayStation Collectors Podcast. This is season 3, episode number 19. And tonight we welcome back Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy?
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm so used to being the host.
Yeah, you're right.
Were you gonna
I'm
start
like
off?
interrupting you. I'm so used to that. Like, thank you for having me back, guys. Nice to finally meet you, Fixie. I know you're out from the crevices of a terrible hurricane back in the January. I'm glad.
Yeah,
to
you
have you
snuck
here.
on the one episode that I haven't been on the podcast, so you did well there.
Yeah. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Nah,
Nice
it's
to have you
good to have
back.
you on, man. It's nice to meet you, too.
I have a question. Yeah, it's nice to meet you. I have a question though. Is that you singing, Joe, in the intro?
Yeah.
Oh man, you have a voice of an angel. You have a voice of an angel. I'm
Thanks.
gonna have to commission you to make a song for my channel.
Let's do it. I'm down.
I love it. That's a great intro. I just wanted to shout it out for that.
Oh,
But
cool, man.
yeah.
Thank you.
You know, it's good once you've heard it 50 times and you're still like bopping along every single time.
Yeah. I love the ending where like all the characters are like it was like Leon's in there too. I think Leon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Leon Nemesis. There's a whole bunch of Resident Evil characters.
My heart, man. It's my heart.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love when
Okay.
it's like, gonna talk to guests, only got the best, and it's like interviewing a chicken.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I had more fun adding fake guests than real guests. To be honest, that was like more fun. I'm like, once I started doing that, like I could have, like, I'm like, I want to replace all the guests with fake guests, but then I thought that would be stupid.
There's one character in there that I used to have nightmares of, but you wouldn't believe it was actually Barney, the dinosaur. I had
Not Hannibal
real-
Lecter. Not Hannibal Lecter. It was Barney.
yeah. So every time I see Barney, it's like traumatizing, but it's good trauma. Don't worry, guys. It's entertaining trauma. So
Oh, that's funny. It's like kids being scared of Big Bird or something.
yeah, he's just it's like imagine if Big Bird walked into your house, like in your room. What, you're not gonna get scared? Like he's like 7 feet tall.
Yeah, I would. A snuffleupagus. Hell yeah, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah. Oh man, that's the worst. So yeah, video game podcast. Okay.
But yeah, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I used to do music a long time ago. I don't talk about it because I feel like it's cheesy. Be like, in my day, back in my day, I played in the band, and no, I don't talk about that. But
I mean,
yeah.
I can't play anything, so the only thing I play is myself. So.
With or what? What are we talking about?
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
All right, we're already off.
I didn't even mean it like that. I didn't even mean it like that, but I guess I'll go like that. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys.
I like started to learn piano and guitar, but it's like all things. If you don't put the time in, you just forget everything you learn. And yeah, I like to think that I can sing, but that's just like to myself in the shower.
Yeah,
Karaoke.
with music, with anything, it's like at first it's like impossible. Like I remember when I first started playing guitar, I was like, how do people use their pinky? Like I couldn't even like differentiate, like make my, like make my fingers move like that. Like I couldn't even
it's
do
very
that.
unnatural movement.
These fingers are just connected at first. They just do the same thing to like get them to like do other. It's very weird, but like, and it's like shmups. It's like anything else though. Like you just do it and you can't do it, and then you just keep trying and you keep trying, and then one day you can just do it. I don't know how else to describe it. That's just how it is.
Practice
like you
makes
play.
perfect.
Yeah, man. I remember playing guitar and like pinch harmonics. When they go wee, make that stupid noise. You know what I'm talking about? And, like squeal on the guitar. Like I could not do that like for years. Like I just couldn't do it right. I could do it like occasionally correctly. I don't know. I just never really pulled it off. And then one day I just was like, oh, why you do it like that? You can just do it. I don't know. It's just so weird, man. I don't know how to describe it. So, but yeah,
you can relate to anything really. Like, certain video games, there's any game you play where they'll have, a really cool move that you can do and it's hard to pull off. And you'll see like top speedrunners doing it and they're just doing it with ease, and you'll try it one day and it'll be impossible. But if you play this game long enough, you'll just start doing this thing without even thinking about it because it's just what to do. Oh, that's the quickest way to do it. My fingers just know how to do this. And muscle memory is cool how it works. If you practice anything, you're going to get better at it. So
that's what I'm going through with Beat Saber. Like it was like I remember like when I first started like Expert Plus, I was just like, how this is impossible. My brain no go for this fast. Like I couldn't do it. It's just like impossible. But like you just keep doing it. One day you're like, okay, like you just got to set the bar and then make yourself like this is the bar. I don't know how else to describe it. Like you like tell yourself like this is what I need to do, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and your body will like eventually adapt and be like, all right, I don't know why this dude in his 40s now suddenly has to flail his arms around like crazy. I don't know
Good
why.
exercise, man.
I know, but your body doesn't understand what's going on, but it's just it reacts to what it thinks you need. So if it's like, all right, this dude needs to go like this every day, like it's gonna
that's what I need to do. I'm gonna get really good at it.
Yeah, it's funny, man. So yeah.
And it's true though, if all you do all day is deal cards, you're going to become the fastest card shuffler in the world. Not out of trying, just because that's all you do, and you're going to get 0.1% better at it every time you do it. And you're doing it 50 times, 100 times a day, and it makes sense. It's cool. Like any.
So you hit your limit. You can't get it better forever though. That's got like a.
It's diminishing returns.
Yes.
Like I like to look at like crazy things that people do. Like, have you guys ever got into seeing the Rubik's Cube community? Those guys like top Rubik's Cube players solve it in less than 5 seconds.
Rubik's Cube,
and it looks like you look at that and you're like, that's impossible. But if you realize these guys have been playing since they were like 3 years old, and that's the best skill that they've got in their entire lives, and they do it all day, every day. So for them, that isn't crazy. That's just what they do, and it's normal to them. And it's like all skills.
You're absolutely correct.
You could be naturally gifted at something, and like you could come easy. But I think somebody that like puts work into something over years and years is still gonna be better than the person that's gifted because it just comes natural. They don't practice at it, and then eventually they hit a ceiling, like you were saying. So I think no matter if you're good at something, still always work at it.
There are some things that has limitations, especially like with sport. Like if you're 40 years old and you're like, I want to be the fastest runner in the world, it's not going to happen. Yeah. Sorry, but
probably not.
I'll show you, Figsy.
Sorry, Joe.
Fastest? That's not happening. I am not fast.
I used to be fast. I'm just fast with this.
I've never been described as fast or graceful. Neither of these things. No.
You got a voice of an angel, though. So.
Oh, there we go. No, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. My girlfriend doesn't like it when I sing. You gotta understand it. It's different. Well, when you get to hear just like the final recording, it's like, oh, that's great. But when you have to hear like the recording, you're like, shut up! I don't want to hear that goddamn song one more time.
That's part of the process. Come on, you gotta love the process.
I don't mind the process, but if you're like just in the other room, And you're just singing one thing over and over again, like a lunatic. Could be a little. You get old. It is what it is.
She still loves you though, so that's all that
Yeah,
matters.
yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. She cooks for me and all that stuff.
See, yeah, I gotta cook for myself, so
Oh, that's a huge thing.
terrible. Yes, I gotta like hit the button on the microwave, hit popcorn. I hate cooking.
So-
I've
I
gotten,
can.
I've gotten to that next level, Jeremy. I've been hitting the button on the air fryer.
What? How,
I feel like I'm
you
actually.
got, see, look, I don't know. You gotta teach me. Teach me your ways, man. I have no idea how to do that. So
Just like
still
a
learning.
microwave, but it's fancy.
Yeah, when she moved in, I think like my cuisine was like I would like take a pound of hamburger and just fry it in a pan and put a piece of cheese on it and eat it. Like that would be my dinner.
that's fine cuisine, man. That's
It was
fine
like-
cuisine.
That was the extent of the effort I was willing to put into it.
Yes.
And now it's like I'm like, what the heck? Only mashed potatoes, chicken, 3 sides. Where's the pie for dessert? No, I'm just kidding.
And that's when you have to go to the doctors after that.
It's true.
Get a checkup
Mm.
for a food baby.
Anyway,
So, like what we were talking about before, you can relate with cooking. If you cook
Mhm.
food for yourself every night, guess what? Your
Mm.
dinners are going to become better every night because you're going to get better at cooking.
True.
You can be like,
Yeah,
oh, that
see,
thing I made the other night, let's try it this way because it didn't taste as good. And then you, like anything you do, you just improve at it. It's really cool. But it goes the exact same way. If you stop doing something, guess what? You forget it. You gradually get worse at it, and you have to practice those things. You can just read up something and be like, I learned this, but really you didn't learn it. You learn it for that time. If you don't practice it, you've forgotten it in a year, 2 years time.
People want instant gratification all the time. They need to practice more, way more.
Yeah, 100%. That's why like degrees are such a weird concept. Because you get a degree over 4 years. In 40 years after getting that degree, you've still got the qualifications, but you haven't needed to practice for 40 years, and you're still like you necessarily haven't worked in this field, but you're still treated the same as someone who's you're probably treated better than someone who's just come out of graduating because you're experienced, but really haven't studied it for 40 years.
That is so true. Because I have degrees in film, and I'm just staring at it right now, and it's not making me money yet. So I'm just waiting for it to make me money. You gotta practice it. You gotta go out there and make your own. Especially nowadays with the internet, you could make money so easily and like learn how to skill easily.
There's no excuses today. You can do everything from home. You don't need to be in a workplace to be doing something, which is really cool. You can even do school from home and university and different things like that, which is crazy these days.
All right, so the next time we have a podcast, I want to see Jeremy has a new movie coming out and Figsy has an Australian cooking show. Let's go. I have no expectations though. I'm lazy.
Oh, I didn't mention that, Jared.
Where's your album at?
Video on my channel where I'm cooking dinner for the night. I just like got motivated and cooked dinner once and put it on YouTube. It's pretty fun. So it might happen. We've seen Marshmallow now doesn't do Fortnite. He like does cooking with Marshmallow.
No, I
like
don't.
Fortnite
Is that the guy that wears the?
Yeah. He like now does meals. They're like in TikTok forms where he like throws things on the counter and smash and fun. Like that's like wears black gloves and that type of filming.
Yeah,
they got millions of views. So good on him. He's able to. He got sick of doing one thing and he's able to transfer that skill. Of, all right, I still want to be a social media influencer. Let's just do something different, and it works for him.
That freedom is beautiful to do what you want.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
now
a hard step to get out of that comfort zone too.
You said you like film. Like, what type of movies are you into, man? I mean, you like games, you like the horror and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I love. I am the horror, but I just went to go see this.
Oh,
nice. Sick.
I actually haven't read this, not all the way. So I go like every time I sleep. Every time I read, it makes me fall asleep so easily. So it's hard for me to read. But
dude,
I love movies.
I used to be able to read, but I have the same problem now. I'm an old ass man. If I sit down and read like 50 pages, I'm like,
Yeah, it's like, oh,
this is past the fuck.
like I just is there a movie for this? So yeah,
I
I've
want to ban
always
the internet a little bit too, because like I still like reading, and I find these days there's just so much that has me distracted on the internet that I don't want to spend like 3 hours not on the internet. Which probably
I
sounds
mean,
really
you
bad,
read a
but-
lot in games. Like I was just playing Final Fantasy VII, like the original one on PS1, and it's all reading. So, and that puts me to sleep too. But it's not because it's boring. It's just reading. But horror movies, yeah, I love horror movies like Evil Dead 2. I just watched that recently. Classic. I love that. 80s like horror movies are the best. Like 80s or early 90s. My favorite horror movie of all time is The Thing. John Carpenter's The
Oh,
Thing.
nice. That's a good
The
one.
practical effects. I love movies that take place in one location.
Mhm.
And it's the snow. It's in the it's the best practical effects ever. Like when I first watched it, I watched that movie, The Thing, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You ever seen that?
That's a good one. Yeah, there's two
I
of
watched
those.
I watched the
There's a couple.
1978 one with Donald Sutherland.
Don Sutherland. That's the one with the
Yeah.
meme. And then
So
there's like
I
the black
watched.
and white from the 50s.
So you ever heard of Awkward Teen Hunger Force?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I that's one of my favorite shows. They made a
Oh, yeah.
reference. They made a reference to that. You know what I'm talking about?
Golden Ice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what- I know. Carl is like my favorite character of all time.
Oh yeah. Every time I see him, like somebody cosplay as him, like because I go to conventions and like always have to talk to him. But they made a reference to Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and I have no idea what it was. Like the whole like at the end, like I was like, what is this? And I looked it up and I watched the movie. So I watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers and The Thing on one night, and I just didn't sleep that night. So I was like, oh yeah, this is one of my favorite movies. If I can't sleep the next night, that's a good movie. Like Freddy, he stays in my dreams, like that bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Another
have
classic.
You ever see the Puppet Masters? Robert
Oh, yeah.
Heinlein movie? That one's not
Yeah.
bad too. That's a decent book too.
I
I
haven't
used
seen
to
all of
read
them.
a lot, but I don't know, Figsy. I'm like you now. The internet is overtaking my life. I don't read any books anymore, unfortunately. I wish I did.
I wanted to mention something on what Jeremy just said on going to bed after not a movie, but this is video games. Do you guys ever get it now? And it's not like getting nightmares. But say you've got something on the following day. You got to get up at a certain time and you're playing a game and you don't want to stop. And you know that you've played for an hour longer than you should and you eventually turn it off. And then you go to bed and all you can think about is what you were just doing in the game and what you're going to start doing tomorrow and blah, blah, blah. And you end up spending like 2 hours just thinking about what you were just playing.
All the time. Yes. Sometimes it's easier just to think about it than to play it.
Yeah, and I start thinking to myself, what's the point of going to bed early? I should have just stayed up, made myself more sleep playing the game.
Yeah, that's true. So that used to happen to me a lot when I was younger, but I don't get I haven't been consumed like that in a while. But that does happen occasionally where a game really does that and pulls you in and makes me want to play more and more and more. I've been really enjoying the new Final Fantasy VII remake. Is anyone else playing that? You playing that, Jeremy, yet? The remake yet? No? You said you were playing the original, right?
Yeah, because unfortunately I haven't beaten it yet. Sorry, guys.
Oh.
Whoever's watching this, I'm sorry. I've never beaten the original one. I gotta apologize for myself because I should have beat it a long time ago because it's a great game. If I played a little bit of the original remake, so once I'm done with the original, I'm gonna go to the remake, and then I'm gonna go to Rebirth, what it just came out. I'm almost done with that. I was actually playing that earlier. I was snowboarding with Cloud, if you know where that is in the game. Yeah. So, but recently we just did an unboxing on the channel. Terry, he got the collector's edition. It's a really good one. It comes with like a really large Sephiroth statue. It was like $250 statue, I think. And we talked about the first impressions. He's really enjoying it. Yeah, and I can't wait to play it. It looks amazing. Especially after Final Fantasy 16, where I enjoyed the game. Like, and we were talking about it. But like the combat is just brain dead. I need more stimulation than just spamming attacks. So, and I know the remake is not really like that. So what do you think about it? the remake so far?
Oh, I like it a lot. I like it much better than 16 as far as like gameplay wise.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed 16, but again, like you said, like it's like basically you figure out a spell rotation. You ever played like WoW or Guild Wars or anything online where you have like cooldowns and you just watch your cooldowns? That's kind of what the combat is. You just come
Yeah,
up
I'm-
with like
I'm not-
the same cycle of cooldowns for every fight. I would fight every fight basically the same as on 16. You know what I mean? You know, occasionally I'd throw a couple fireballs if I had to get some distance or dodge a few times or whatever. But like the same attack patterns was basically like the same spells. Oh, this is off cooldown, I'm using this. So this is off cooldown, I'm using that. And that it was all right, but there was no like MP. There's no like magic points to monitor,
You
which
can't
in
even
itself
get
is
poisoned. I don't think you can. Can you even get poisoned? Like no status ailments.
there was no status elements, and then there was no party system. It was very like you said. It's very simple, you know, which is fine because
Boss fights are
I don't
epic, though.
I think it's insulting, to be honest with you. I'll be honest, because like apparently
It
they
is.
think the way to get a bigger audience is they have to dumb everything down and basically you have to make it stupider. And I don't think that's the right move for
It's
games that like it's not the right move for that type of game. Like if you want to make that type of game, just make a Final Fantasy game spin-off and make an action game and try to get people into the franchise that way. But like the mainline games, it should be there you go, sure. Like whatever you want to do, if that's what you really want to do. But like the mainline
Something.
entries should be for the people who liked Final Fantasy games. I don't know how to describe this. Like, why don't you want?
Weird. It's weird what they do because it's not like they haven't got fans. It's not like they have to sell to a new audience just to get this thing out the door. Like the fact that it says Final Fantasy and is a mainline sequel guarantees 5 million copies sold. Like you don't have to. This is
You think
before
so?
anything happens. People are gonna buy it now. Make it like the other games, and your fans are gonna love it. Like don't try and put out a Final Fantasy game to get new fans. Like put out like exactly what Jeremy just showed, a spin-off title if you want to go down that road. But keep Final Fantasy.
You could expand the universe and try to bring people in. Make a cartoon if you want, dude, or whatever. There's other ways to
make
do
a new
it.
series. Make a new series.
Yeah, exactly. Or a total new. Well, they tried Forspoken. They tried. I mean, it's not like they haven't tried. They do try, but anyway, like I said, it just bums me out that like apparently they think that like dumbing things down is a way to do it. And I'm trying to advocating this, especially for RPGs. I'm like, no. I want the nerdiness raised up to 11, please. I want it to be complicated. Like I don't want it to be. So here's how. You can have a very complicated game. You just don't want to overwhelm the player too fast with all of your systems like right away, because that's over daunting to people. And I could see that. Like, so if you log into a game and it's like, here's your skill tree, there's 3,000 choices, here's 55 spells, here's the load up, and it's just like a million things to think about all at once. It's like, whoa, this is too much. And like, I used to play Path of Exile or something. You ever see that game for the first time? You like look at the skill tree and you just like,
I'm okay with that.
you're
okay
like,
with
whoa,
that.
dude, I don't know. I don't know if I need to I want to go down this path. But you can have a game that's complicated. They just need to like piecemeal it out a little bit. And they just introduce one system at a time. And you can have it be really complicated, but you just give the player a small bit of information at a time. So like you start out and you're like, here's how the combat works with just the weapons. Now here's the magic system. Now here's the crafting system. Now here's the card game. Now here's the secret, Moogle medals. Now here's this, and that's what I like about Rebirth is that there's lots of stuff. There's regular leveling, there's crafting, there's gear management, there's materia, there's leveling up your materia, leveling up your weapons, leveling up your cards. There's the card game. There's the, you know what I mean? There's all that RPG stuff that like I want
did not have
to
any
do.
of that.
Yeah, no, 16, literally, like I'm most of the time, my girlfriend, she's like always laughing at me because I was looking at my phone, bored, waiting for the damn movies to stop playing half the time, just because I'm like, dude.
That's why you just go skip
like,
the cutscenes. It's
can
time.
I just play a game? Well, I don't want to skip the cutscenes though. Like I want to know the story. I do, but the cutscenes are just too damn long. Like, they're too long. Like, you can have cutscenes in a great story, but I don't need them to be 20 minutes or something.
I got a little rule for cutscenes.
Wow.
I start watching them at the start of the video game. Once I start skipping them, I skip them for the rest of the game, and I've finished the cutscenes for that game, and I just want to play it.
I see why you like the
if
Souls
I'm
game.
watching cutscenes at the end of a video game, it's fucking amazing. There's not many games out there that I've done that for.
I like cutscenes, so if it's like a story, sometimes I just want to watch a cutscene. Like maybe this, I'm thinking like Final Fantasy 16 should have just been a movie because like the boss fights are like, I mean, you just hit a button and like it's just like an epic like cutscene. But once I started playing the game, I'm like, what's the point? It's so long. Like compared to like an action, it should have been like a much shorter action game, like Devil May Cry. Because like it's okay to have like a I guess more not dumber down, but a less complex battle system if it's a shorter game, like or like more interesting like scenarios where I'm just fighting the same enemy over and over again, just spamming the button. It doesn't really make a difference for 30 plus hours. I can't do it.
Joe, I wanted to touch back on what you were just talking about with complex games. So I play a lot of games in the strategy genre, and some of them I've watched playthroughs on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, let's give it a go. And like 10 hours in, I'm still have absolutely no idea how to play. And like you have to sit there and watch YouTube tutorials, and like even just playing the tutorial isn't enough. But some of those games, I'm playing one right now, and I just want to get the correct title of it because I always say the name wrong. So it's called Transport Fever 2. And I actually played this game for like 8 hours last night. I really like this game. However, it's the type of game that the first time I played it, it was an awful experience because it's so complicated. And I've played it now that many times that I feel like this is the first. I'm on easy mode. This is like the first playthrough I've done. It's probably my 5th playthrough where I'm finally getting to the point where I'm actually like making money. I'm not in debt. I don't have to like take out all these loans, and I'm like really enjoying it. But it's such a complicated game. Like you have to manually type all the routes that you're riding. So if you like have a bus go from town to town, you have to type this. Otherwise, it gets confusing, and it's just like line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have no idea what's going on. But after doing this so many times, it gets really satisfying, just like doing it all properly and working out like, oh, this is going to make money. It's worth doing this route and it's worth doing this. And I'm seeing this city being built after so many like failed attempts. It's really satisfying. And it's hard to get that satisfaction from games now because a lot of them are just, so easy. You can't fail. Like, if I relate it to another city building game, like City Skylines, for example, it's almost hard to fail in that game because they make it so easy. It's fun, but it has the opposite effect that it never feels like rewarding when you're doing it. Where I like that complex game. I like playing like Total War, Warhammer, and things like that, where you play it for 20 hours and you still have no idea what half of the things on the main screen do.
You make it slow progress though. You might not be leveling up, but yourself is leveling up. You like learn skills like very slowly, and as long as the grind is enjoyable, it's fine. Yeah,
exactly. And those are the type of games that if you look through like Steam reviews, people have got like 5,000 hours on it because you can put 5,000 hours into those games because it feels you're still discovering things and doing things for the first time because they're that in depth. It's really cool.
Yeah, man, I 100% agree. Like, it's not like, first of all, I like easy games. Like, I like chill games and relaxing games. I play story games, walking sims, all that stuff. Like, when I want to have a relaxing time, I'm down for that. So I don't want to sound like I'm like one of those people who's like, I don't like any games to ever be easy. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like games that are like RPGs that should be complicated. Like, you shouldn't be dumbing those down. Like, you should be like, that is your bread and butter. And like, one thing that I'm amazed. I feel like it's one of the most stubborn things I've ever seen in the history of gaming or anything like that is ever since they've gone from a turn-based fighting system to an action-based fighting system, Final Fantasy has been on a downward trend in sales. It's just I'm not talking about quality,
wonder
good,
why.
bad, whether you like it or not. The sales are going down from 10 or whatever, from 7 to they're not selling more, they're selling less. And like I
love turn-based games. I don't know why they got rid of it.
I think that they should have just kept it turn-based and made it more complicated, not less. I think they should have parties with 6 characters, not 4, and you should have 3 timers to watch, not 2, 1, and you should have it should be more complicated. It should be people like who were good at those games when they were kids, like our age or whatever, people who like those turn-based strategy games, but like turn it up a little bit, make it a little more, to it. And that would sell well. I think that would be popular. I do. I don't see why. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be popular with the newer audience, but
I think they're catering to us, though. I don't think they're catering to I don't think they can get the younger crowd, because the younger crowd, like the much younger ones, they don't care about like strategy games like this or like the RPGs.
No.
I think they're more, in tune with like the live service games, free to play, Roblox, Fortnite, because that's the only thing my niece and nephews care about. They just play on their phone like this. I'm trying to get my niece into Final Fantasy, but like she puts that down and goes straight back to whatever she plays on their phone. I don't play on the phone, so I don't.
I've got a big complaint about the whole action RPG system that they use, because I love action RPGs, and it stems from the whole Dark Souls genre, right?
Oh yeah.
And what's a Dark Souls genre? What's a Dark Souls game do? It gives you a hard boss, and every single boss you have to overcome in a certain way. When you finish that game, just compare a Dark Souls game to a Final Fantasy game. They both might take 100 hours. They both might have 30 bosses. But one of them you've just run through the game pressing X. And the other one you've got stuck on 30 bosses and you've died 5 or 6 times. And the Final Fantasy doesn't have that whole, like, this is hard and I've struggled on this thing. And like that was in games when I was a kid. Like, I remember getting stuck on boss fights and struggling to beat these things. And it felt good. And I just feel like your modern RPGs don't have that. They're too easy. Or you have to, and then we can talk about artificial difficulty. But like, I shouldn't have to play an RPG on hard mode to have a good experience. That's why, again, I love the Souls franchises.
Yeah, the difficulties built into the design.
Yeah, exactly. Artificial difficulty is terrible. Don't give me a boss that's got double the health of normal mode. That's just not a harder boss. That's just not as fun. Okay, I have to do what I just did in normal mode twice. I don't have to learn new skills to beat this thing. I don't know. But like, look how successful Elden Ring is. Surely pick one game of the year. Surely people are going to be like, oh, we should add difficulty to our games again.
Oh no. I was stuck.
Some people should. Not. I mean, I don't. Super Mario Wonder shouldn't be like Dark Souls. You know what I'm saying? Like, there should be games for people who like easy games, but I'm just saying, like
Kirby is a pretty easy game.
You don't want to change your identity to try to reach a new audience. That's a bad move. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you
create spinoffs, like you said, like a spinoff.
If you make a great cheeseburger, right? Just because pizza is more popular doesn't mean you should make pizza. You should just make a good cheeseburger, dude, because you're really good at it. And maybe you'll sell less than the people who sell pizza, but you'll buy. Everybody who likes cheeseburgers will come to you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like all of the gaming industry, like they want every game to be Fortnite. They all want every game to be massively huge, giant, successful. Like, they want to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to make it, and they want it to make billions of dollars and all. And I'm just like, I don't think it should be like that. I'm like, make a smaller, lower budget game with less people that's more niche, that will be successful and make enough money, and that's what you should be trying to do.
I think have you heard of this new game? I think it's coming out tomorrow. Unicorn Overlord.
Oh yeah,
it came out today in Australia, and saying good things about it.
I forgot you're in the future. I forgot about that. And I'm looking forward to that. It's like a strategy RPG, and the art style is beautiful, and I'm pretty sure it got good reviews. And I might buy it. So I'm sorry, what were you saying, Fixie?
I was just talking about the Unicorn game that came out.
Oh
today.
yeah. So I think that would sell. Like, it doesn't seem like a very graphically intensive game. Like Final Fantasy is like barely running at times. Final Fantasy 16, and I'm sure it will sell maybe 1 million, and they'll make a big profit on that. You have to make big triple A or quadruple A budget titles now, like Skull and Bones. I guess they call that quadruple A now, which is, I don't know, understand what that even means.
Is that for the 11-year development games?
Yeah.
I mean, again, I guess I have like a hipster attitude about a lot of things, but like I am so not interested in these big companies' games. Like I'm the exact opposite. Like I would rather play 1 million indie games than like any of those games. Like, what's up, puppy? Where's you go, girl? I don't know. So
Beautiful.
I just like. So it's like these games, they're like, how could this fail? I'm like, I'm not interested. And like, also, I don't know about you guys, but like, I always wait till those games are cheap because they always are. It's like, why all the AAA, quadruple A games that come out, they're like $60 and $70. Sure, for like a year or two, but those are always clearance stuff for like $10-20 eventually. And then maybe I'll pick it up, because that's one thing I'm good at, is like I don't need to be on the hype train or the FOMO, like what I'm playing train, for the most part, unless it's like something I really want. Like I was on the Final Fantasy one because I really liked the first remake, and I've been waiting for it for 4 years, so I really wanted to play it. So like, I'm down with that. But like 90% of the time, like I don't need to play any of these new games that come out, especially now. I feel like everybody nowadays, it's not like it used to be where everyone would just buy it, pre-order shit. Like I feel like a lot of people now are like, wait, we've been burned too many times by too many companies. We've had too many bad launches, lied to about what's in the game, the servers don't work. Like, we've had too many bad things where people now, they wait and see how the game is, and then they decide whether they get it. And so like these companies have to like be a lot more careful about what they're doing.
I'm definitely in that later category. Also, I wanted to mention that today, and if anyone's been a collector for a long time, we can all attest to this, we don't need to pick up new games, because I've got 10,000 games of hours of games that I want to play, and the list is getting bigger. Like, I haven't bought a new game for almost 12 months now, and I'm still going through and playing stuff, and I won't stop. Like, I'm still playing the same games. Like, I've hardly even changed anything. Like, yeah, like that FOMO definitely disappears when you realize you're still playing games. I've got games that have been sitting on my shelf, like a Red Dead Redemption 2, that I still haven't finished yet, and I'd love to finish that before I play Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Not that I don't want to play it, but I don't want to buy it. Why? It's still $100 in the shops, and I've got things to play.
I need to beat Red Dead as well. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That's all I want to say. I need to beat Red Dead. That's all I wanted to say about that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, before the new GTA comes out.
Oh yeah.
I almost I feel bad for the people who have to review games, because like that sucks. That ruins gaming. It ruins it. Like, it turns gaming into your job, and like that, as soon as you have to do something, boy, does that make it less fun to do. I don't care what it is. It could be going to Disneyland every day. If you have to go to Disneyland every day, that sucks. Disneyland sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how life is. Like, as soon as you have to do something, it's less fun. So like, it would suck constantly being like, I have to finish game A because game B is coming out in a week, and my review needs to be done by Thursday and all that shit. Like, I get why it happens, and I understand why people do it, but that must suck, man. Like, because what if you like just love a game and you just want to play that game for a little extra? You know what I mean?
Take your time with it,
Sure, yeah. Like, what if you really love Final Fantasy 16 or you really love Final Fantasy 7 and you want to just do all the side quests and raise a bunch of chocobos or whatever the hell you want to do, just waste time, whatever, getting perfect. You know what I did today? Literally, in that game, I spent like 30 minutes trying to get one of them damn piano songs perfect.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have the part where you play the piano. It's like a little rhythm game, and I love
That's
rhythm
nice. I
games.
love rhythm games and like mini games like that.
Yeah, that's why. One of the reasons I like the Rebirth is just full of little quirky, fun little things like that, little fun games. So anyway, that's what I did. I spent like, that you can just play it and get like a rank 1, 2, 3 stars, whatever. They have like a red star, like perfect if you perfect the songs. And I'm immediately like, I was started. My girlfriend's like, oh God. I'm like, yep, they put a perfect rank in this game. You know what that means? She's like, I'm gonna hear these piano songs a millions. I'm like, yep, I'm gonna play every one of them 1,000 times till I get them all
Yep.
perfect, because that's what I feel like doing. And like, I couldn't do that if I had a review due on Tuesday for freaking Unicorn Overlord or whatever. I don't know. So I'm just like,
I don't think you get the
gotta
full
be
pit like
lame.
when you're like under like what's it called, like embargo, like you have to get your review out at a certain time. Like you gotta like, oh, I gotta get it be out first so everybody can watch my review. I don't think you get like the full scope of the game. Like you don't get comfortable with the game because like it's not like a movie where you can watch it easily over and over again. You gotta play the game, like especially with RPG like Final Fantasy. Like if you want like a full review on like a
Yeah.
good like overview of the game, you gotta experience it at your own pace. Like you gotta really enjoy it. Like it's like you're saying, it's like a job, and I don't think it's like it's the same opinion of somebody just playing casually. Like, yeah, I enjoyed it. I think that's like more of a opinion that I would want. Like somebody just like played it like a couple of months down, was like, yeah, it's improved. Like some updates have been improved on it, so first reviews are usually not as good as like the later reviews, like down the line, even years down the line. I
Yeah,
would look
agreed.
for like retrospectives
fan
on
reviews.
games.
I like some games. This might sound weird, but you will all agree with me. Some games I like to play for 1 or 2 hours every few months, and I love these games, but I only want to play for 1 or 2 hours every few months. And how can you review something like that? It's like obviously you can't, because you can't review like that in a week. But there's plenty of games out there that I still love, and I still play them every few months for a few hours, and that's just what I want to do. And I mean, some people mightn't be like that, but that's how I like to play some of my games. Instead of having like instead of it being a crazy experience, it's like I'm playing a hardcore game and I want to relax for a couple of hours. Let's throw this one game on that. Okay, it might be like a comfort type thing, but then I can chill for 2 or 3 hours, and then when I want to return to it in 3 months, I don't have to relearn the game. I'm still up to this point, still have fun again.
That's literally the entire shmup genre for me. That's literally like I've been playing Final Fantasy VII, and then at times where I'm like, I only have 30 minutes to kill here. I'm not going to play Final Fantasy VII because I'm not. That's just going to irritate me because I'm going to get involved in something and then not be able to do
Can't
it.
do that.
So I'm like, but I can play this shmup real quick and do a run of this or run of that, and that's like what you mean. Like that's like those comfort games where I'm like, I don't really need to like relearn anything, or I just hop back in, play it for a little while, and blah blah blah. So, but it's hard for me to give a proper review of a shmup unless I put like a couple hundred hours into it and the 1cc and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't review anything anyway, just because I'm like, I don't feel like people give a damn about my opinion in general. I just think that's weird.
It's so interesting how reviews are done. Like, the bigger the game is, the less time people get to review it, because like the game will come out on Friday and they'll give reviewers codes on like the Monday. All right, you've got to not sleep for the next 4 days and like play for 20 hours a day, or like that might be extreme. But like, let's just say 10 hours a day. Like that is, by the time you've hit day 4, it doesn't matter how good the game is. You don't want to be there. It feels like work. That's going to reflect in the review. Like, and to someone who plays that game 2 hours a day, it could be the best thing ever after their day of work. Like, it's a completely different experience,
And I doubt the credibility of all day one reviews, because like you said, Jeremy, like what's to say they even experienced the game in full? What if they, what if the game is, they ran through the main storyline in 20 hours and they're doing a review of a game that has another 80 hours worth of content they didn't touch? Is that really a review? Like, how can you know? Like, do they mention it? Do they even go over it? A
A
lot of
partial review.
Well, in general, I think of a lot of reviews really don't talk about the game at all. Anyway, they don't really give you a good impression of whether the game's good or they'll tell you whether they liked it or not, but they don't talk about the game. You know who's great reviews is that guy Mark on Electric Underground. I don't know if you guys watch it. I love his reviews
No,
because
I
his
never
reviews
watched
are
it.
like, dude, he talks about like a lot of arcade games and stat style like shmups, beat 'em ups, and stuff like that. But he talks about a lot of different things. But he just did one on Ghost and Goblins Resurrection, for example. That's like a 2D.
Oh man, that game is so hard.
Oh, dude, it really is so brutal.
That's I just gave up.
But anyway, like I like his reviews because he talks about the mechanics of the games. It's so refreshing. It's like he's like, this is what I like about the jump mechanic and how you can control or what you can't do this in one of these situations and how they place this and how they did that and they could have done this and because the screen's this big and they could. I don't know. He talks about the game from like a design perspective. And like, I don't know, it's just like, it's so much better than people are just like, I like the graphics.
What is
I
it?
don't know,
What is it called?
Electric Underground is his channel.
Electric Underground.
Yeah. And I don't agree with all his reviews, just so you know. He says he doesn't like things that I like, and you know what I mean? Like, he's very purist about his things, and I'm a little more forgiving because I'm like, you know, like like I said, I like difficult games. He likes really difficult games, and he wants it to be like he really likes difficulty, which I don't think he cares if there's easy modes either. But I'm just saying, like, that's his whole thing. It's like, I don't know. It's those games. I guess people have said, like, I saw this comment, I think it was on Twitter. I can't remember. Somebody said something somewhere in a comment on YouTube or Twitter or somebody. So whoever said it, I'm sorry if I'm stealing your comment, but I thought it was great. It's that people are too focused on consuming games rather than playing games.
Yeah.
They just want to like get a game and be like, I'm done with this game and move on to a new game. I'm done with that game.
Got the platinum trophy in a week. It's over.
Yeah. And they just want to consume it and like check it off, like, and like put it on their list, like done. But like, they don't want to like play the game and really play the game and get into that game and explore everything you can do in that game and get as good as you can at that game and like break the game and find secrets and like, you know, like that like passion about the game. Like, but people do, and like Dark Souls, and you know, there are games that people do that and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people, they just want to consume product onto next product.
Like,
it's not the same attitude about it, I guess.
I think
I've played
that's
plenty of games, but there's only 2 games in the last 5 years that I've played, and it's PUBG and GeoGuessr. Every other game I've just played till I finished it, and then moved on to the next thing. But these games, I'm, you know, thousands of hours in, and I'm still learning and discovering new things, and you know, playing the game. So I'd add FIFA to that list because I've put in like well over 1,000 hours. But yeah, it's a different experience. Or Stardew Valley because I've put in 1,000 hours on that too.
Ooh. So that's why I don't really, you guys like do like Game Pass or like the subscription services. I don't do that because I feel like it like devalues of the game. Like it's like it's like easily consumable. And like you play it for like a minute or two and like you just throw it away. I like to buy a game and like, I'm here for this for at least, you know, I put my money down on it. I gotta try it, master it. So what do you guys think about that, like the subscription services?
I don't use the PlayStation one, but I use the Xbox one for brand new PC games.
Oh yeah, that's good for that. Yeah,
especially with the discounts. I've never not got an Xbox Plus for $1. So, like, to play a brand new game for $1 is a no-brainer to me. I might be exploiting the system, but every time I put my PC on, I get an ad for Game Pass for $1. Well, you know.
So I don't subscribe to anything like that. But if I had a nicer PC, I think I would get Game Pass at this point in my life, just because there are some things I wouldn't mind just playing and trying out that I don't really want to own. Like, you know, I wouldn't, like Among Us or something like that, or, you know, there's games that I wouldn't mind playing or that I don't really want to own a copy of. Like any online only game that's on
Lawn
Game
mowing
Pass.
Simulator or something.
And,
you know.
Sure. Yeah. Actually, no, I own that motherfucker. I love that shit. Anyway. But one thing I thought I do 100% agree with you, Jeremy, is that like like if you don't buy a game, like it's like emulating syndrome. Have you ever like built, emulated anything or hacked anything? What like
Yeah,
so
I
you'll
got
spend like
Dolphin on my computer.
sure. So most of the time, what happens if you emulate is you'll download 1,000 games and you put 1,000, and and then you pick up the thing, and like you said, because there's so many games and they're so accessible and there's cheap and there's like no investment, all you do is like bounce between all the games. So you like play one game for like 10 minutes, play another game for 5 minutes, play this game for a couple minutes, play that game for 20 minutes, play this game for 20 minutes. It's like you very rarely will sit down and just pick a game and invest in that game because you're not invested in it. Whereas if you go out and you buy something, you're like, I don't know, like you're invested in it now. You're like, dude, I spent money on this. I'm going to sit here and finish this and enjoy this and play this. Like if I went out and bought King's Field 1 on PS1 for $100 or whatever, like I'm way more likely to play through that game than if I emulate it.
It's a rough game.
Yeah, it's a rough game. You know what I mean? But if I paid that money, I'm gonna be like, nah, I want to have this experience, and like, I don't know, like I would be much more likely to play it. So
Yeah, I think the perfect example is a brand new game. If you buy a brand new game, you spent $60, you feel obligated to get your money's worth. And if you can't get into a brand new game, it's either the game's wrong or something wrong with you. You know, like if you get a game for free off Game Pass and you don't like it, you put it down after 2 seconds and you start playing something else. You don't do that with a $50, $60 game. You either force yourself to like it or you play it that long enough that you hate it. So it's
well, you sell that mother or you return it. You realize you get out quick.
I want to talk about something when we're talking about reviews. And this came to my head, and it might be quite interesting. I can think of one game that may have used this. So let's say that you're a game company and you know that early reviews are so important to sales and things like that. And do you think game companies would purposely make the start of their games better than the end of their games just to have that initial experience? And I can think of Hogwarts Legacy. I loved the first 30 hours, and then I thought the end of the game was terrible. And it got really good initial reviews. So maybe, like, I mean, that could be a thing, you know. It's not until people get out there and finish it that you're really going to get the full story of how games are and different things like that.
So I think that's definitely logical that would happen, but I don't know if it's necessarily like some like planned spiteful thing where they're like trying to trick you by like front loading or anything. What I would imagine happens is that they spend a lot of time developing the early part of the game, and then they start to run out of money. And then, like, friggin' finish that bad boy.
Xenogears. You ever play Xenogears?
Yeah, or even the third disc of Final Fantasy VII. It's like much shorter than the first. It's like
I think it's just the final boss fight.
Yeah, it's so that's what I mean. Like it's like I don't know. You're absolutely 100% right. I think that is how most modern games are. Like starts off strong and hooks you in, and then it kind of falls off. But that's also a lot of problem with like game designs. It's like these games are supposed to be these online forever games, these online service games. Like you better have a lot of plans for end game content. Like, like Diablo 4, I heard was like, everybody loved it at first because it was super fun.
And then you get to level 75 and there's nothing to do.
And then everyone's like, well, now what? And they're like, just keep paying us, I guess, and fucking do this shit. And like, I get it. Like, yeah, just keep doing.
I like to move on from games though. I'm not the guy that just plays the game forever. So I would just play New Game Plus. So, but I don't really play like Diablo like that. So
I was addicted to World of Warcraft and talked about it a million times. And like now I'm like against games that don't end. That's like a thing for me. I'm like, if this game has no ending, I can't play it because I will lose like. It doesn't end. You're just gonna keep going forever. Like you said, I want games to have like the end. You win. Go touch grass.
Go home.
You've done it. Hooray! You go see your family. Go see the real world. Go outside.
That's interesting because I still play those games, and I have a similar experience to you. But my rule is I won't play them if money's involved. So, for example, like you got to pay $20 a month to keep this thing going. I mean, I pay like $5 a month for GeoGuessr, but that's a subscription service for the API costs. It's a little bit different. But yeah, anything that like, okay, FIFA Ultimate Team or something like that, where to keep up with everyone else, it's not a skill based, it's a money based gap. Like that's where I refuse to play. Even if I have fun, I'll acknowledge that, well, this is more gambling than video games, so I'm not going to get involved in this.
So, he says I only play rhythm games over and over in the zombie mode. So there's nothing wrong with playing a game a lot, or like playing it repetitively. I put like 5,000 hours into Binding of Isaac, right? But that still is a game that like has an ending. Like the round ends, the match ends. I can just put it down. I can go away, and it's fine. Like I don't need to log in for my daily bonus, or I don't need to log in for my seasonal rewards, or make sure I do my weekly chores to get my points so I can get my freaking magic duck or whatever.
I can't go on holidays because the season's still going and I'll miss out.
Yeah.
And I've got a 4-year in a row streak that I'll lose.
Yes, exactly. So like the games that like literally apply psychological pressure and manipulation to people to keep them invested in their games, I'm like completely against in every way, shape, or form. Like I'm just against that. Even though
it's just addiction by then. It's just addiction.
Correct. And there are people that want that too. There are, so I'm not even saying it shouldn't exist, because there are people who want games that literally keep them invested 24 hours a day. That's all they want to do with their life. That's what they want. Sure. If that's what you want, I'm happy for you, but I don't think it's healthy. And if you're in that situation and it's affecting your life negatively, maybe you need to reevaluate what you're doing. That's all.
Well, there's people that have been, in depression sites, and those games have brought them out. So there's definitely positives to them as well.
Sure.
Yeah, they are overall like they become an addiction, and you have to become aware of when you are addicted to a video game, and and is it taking over your life and different things like that. And are you deciding to not hang out with people because you want to play? And those things are important, and you have to acknowledge what you're doing and decide, is it the right thing for you. If you feel like if you ever get into a situation when you feel like you're letting your online friends down more than your real life friends, then that's when you might have a problem.
I don't have any real life friends. I'm old. You guys still have real life friends? Good for you if you do. That's amazing. All my real life friends are like literally in jail or friggin' across the country or friggin' worse.
Worse.
Worse. Wow. Worse than that.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I've reached that age. You just start reading about people like, really? Holy shit. That happened to that guy? What the fuck?
So you've reached that age. We've reached the time where we play the Feezy quiz. So
nice. That was a smooth transition. That was
nice.
I like it.
Now, bear with me for 1 second while I set up the quiz. This will be a lot of fun to know, guys. So, Jeremy, I know you're a bit of a PS3 fan. So today, Pavel has designed a PS3-related quiz once again.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Should be a lot of fun. Before we get into it, I'm going to get chat's question up. So, chat, once again, you've got a question to answer. Here are your photos, and you guys have to name the full video game. This one's thanks to Sylvan. I'm just going to leave this up for a second while I set up today's quiz.
Also, Akira Toriyama.
No. Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna name the quiz or something.
No.
I was like, don't get the cat chat quiz.
No.
Sorry.
There's news that I think he died. Akira
Yeah,
Toriyama,
rest in peace. I read that in chat. That's really sad.
Dragon
Oh,
Ball
that
Z, Dragon Ball maker, and
Really?
Dragon Quest, maker. I mean the art.
Yeah, dude. I love he that sucks. That new sand. That new what's it called? Sand King. Oh God.
Sandland, yeah.
Sandland. Yeah, that's his new game.
It's coming out next month. Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good, dude. I'm literally getting the game because of that guy's artwork. I love his artwork, and that's a shame. And that's sad. I'm just really sad to hear. Like, I'm a huge fan of I love Dragon Ball, but I'm not like, I haven't seen like all the series or anything like that. I just saw a lot of the OG stuff, and then I love Dragon Quest. Like, a huge Dragon Quest fan. Dragon Quest still makes turn-based RPGs like you should. But we'll see what the new one's like whenever that comes up.
What they say that that's where Pokemon got its inspiration from. So.
Oh yeah,
Well,
definitely.
Rest in peace. I mean, guy's a legend, and like his artwork is phenomenal. And like, I love the slime from Dragon. That's iconic, man. Like, I love Dragon Quest stuff. And believe it or not, like, that game is like even more special to me. Like, when I first started dating my girlfriend, she didn't like play a lot of games. Like, she had played like some games in the past, but like we got really into gaming together, playing like Dragon Quest Builders, believe it or not. And so like, I just love
so much fun, man. That was actually my first Dragon Quest game, and then I'm like, this is awesome.
Same for her.
And I went and bought other ones, and discovered the series.
Yeah, they're really good.
Mario has correctly answered chat's question, because the answer was Celebrity Deathmatch. Well done, Mario. Now,
man, that is great. I would never gotten that. I would never.
Yeah, the death part. I was like, because that's Dead or Alive, right?
Yeah.
Even?
I would not have gotten the celebrity part. Not at all. I
was
like,
thinking
Kim.
Like, you got Ash in there. I wouldn't have got the celebrity part either.
Well, I'm a jerk, so all the things in my mind are the first. I'm like, it's mean things. I'm like,
all right, guys, let's get into today's quiz. So the rules of the quiz. Pavel has pulled 20 of the 20 words from the PS3 library. These words are used the most of any title. So he's gone through the entire North American only PS3 library, gathered all the words that have been used most, and ranked them from first to last. So number 1 has been used 23 times. Number 20 has been used 4 times. The way this quiz is going to work, you guys are going to take turns in naming the names. Each one you name, for example, if you name number 1, I'm going to give you 23 points because it's used 23 times. If you name number 20, you get 4 points. So you have to go after the most popular names of PS3 games. Each individual word. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's not like it's none of that.
Right? Yeah, so it's not those words, it's real words. However, we are adding S. So
you said what?
One word that there is the word, and then there is the word of S on the end.
Oh,
but it's not. It is a full word, so it makes sense. Joe, you're going to start. I'm going to give you guys each 5 strikes. Let's get into it. 5
strikes.
So, 5 like, strikes. Is this including sports titles and stuff? Like NHL?
It includes everything. However, no, it doesn't have. Okay, so it doesn't include sport games or numbers.
Okay.
We'll include everything else, though.
All right. That's how we usually do. Like, I just feel like in the collecting world, sports games are like, we don't talk about that. We're talking about everything else.
I just look, there's no FIFA, and FIFA would have showed up more than.
That's what I mean. I'm like, I feel like I'm like Tiger Woods alone. I know there's like 7 of those damn.
Well, then it could be Tiger Woods pro golf.
All right, so I'm gonna say Transformers. There's like 6 or 7 of those games. So was that count? You mean like the word Transformers? Like I'm not sure how this works.
There's like 4 or 5, I think.
At least.
all the movie games, and then like I think there's like 2 or 3 good ones.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point. It's not on the list.
So this is what I'm trying to understand, like how the game works. Is it not? Is it?
I'm
Like-
trying to as well, Jack.
We're learning as we go. Okay, learning as we
Okay.
go. Learning on the job.
I don't know. All right. Can I say collection? But does that work? Like the word collection,
Ooh.
because there's a million collections.
Ooh.
Like
That's a good one.
try Sly Cooper.
It
collection.
is. I mean, I agree with you, but it's not on the list either.
Well, I'm taking a strike then, because I've guessed twice, and neither am on
Wait,
the list.
so
So I
it
don't
could-
know.
It doesn't have to be a full name. It's just just one word, right?
One
I
word.
don't know.
All right. Call for Call of Duty.
I don't know where you got these answers from, but call's not on there. It doesn't make sense. But we're gonna keep rolling with it, guys.
All right, let's just
I'm
give
gonna
us
just
like.
start. I'm gonna just start.
Let's up the strikes. Let's up the strikes.
I think you guys got to stop thinking of franchises and start thinking
Yeah.
of words of titles. So right now you're just saying like,
Well,
we're
that's why I
not
said
going to have like,
collection.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that. But let's say Call of Duty Zombies was the game. Zombies would be the word, if that makes sense. No looking at titles, Jeremy. Because
Okay.
that's
He was
cheating.
looking.
I did look.
Jared?
I did.
No, look
I
at-
did look. I did. I was looking at PS2 games though.
El Shahid. El Shahid.
I don't
PS2
think
title.
Figsy believed me. Oh shit! I can't look.
Jeremy, you're right.
Oh, it's Jeremy's turn. Okay, good.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay. Man, gotta think of that time and what was everything called back then? Man, not gun.
Whoa. Gun isn't on there. But I think your gun ran the right track.
I'm trying to think of just like generic names for stuff.
All right, I'm gonna say addition.
Joe, you aren't going down the right track. That's not on there.
Bullshit.
It's
said it, addiction?
Addition.
It's words of the titles, not the like. If it was Call of Duty, like, I'm just going to use a generic name. If the game was Call of Duty Zombie Special Edition, the word is just zombies. Does that make
Not the
sense?
special edition. Okay, I guess.
I'll let you
Okay,
answer again because
Then I'll say. Then
Like
I'll say.
game of the
can I
year,
throw
game
in-
of the year edition.
Joe's answering.
All right, I'm gonna say extreme.
It's not the
Green
PS1 era.
isn't on there. That's another strike.
That's the
Jeremy.
PS1 era.
You're right.
Yeah, 100%. That's PS1.
How about assault?
Not on there.
This is some bull. How about reloaded? Reload.
That's reload. Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe.
Reload isn't on there. You guys are going to be so angry when you see a few of these answers because a few of them, like, don't make sense from the words that we've said, but we'll get to it.
Generic.
You guys have to take it up with Pavel, not me, all right? I can already see people complaining.
Trying to think of all the
I like the one where we gets the feet. That was better. The pictures.
Now you're up.
Oh, it's my turn.
Adventure.
Adventure is good.
Jeremy, instead of Venture, Venture isn't on there.
It's not. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah.
It's literally a genre.
Returns.
Return
It's
of
not on
Matt
there.
Hazard. Return is not on there. Wow.
That's the fourth strike.
The number 3. No.
Titties. Sorry. I got nothing.
Ratchet.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like hundreds of Ratchet and Clank games. No,
But it wouldn't be Ratchet and Clank. It would be what
be
the
Yeah.
titles are called, and then what the
Okay,
individual-
yeah. Tools of the. I'm just trying to think of like Resistance, not Resistance. I'm just Fall of Man. Man.
Man isn't on there.
All right, this is my last guess. If this isn't on there, then this is I call shenanigans, official shenanigans. I'm gonna say war. Just the word.
Oh
war.
yeah, War. Yeah, it has
War
to be.
has got to be on
War.
there.
War never changes. Come on.
There's always the games with war.
I don't know what Pavel's doing to me, but it's not on there.
Wow. War. It was the World War II era. Hasn't
I don't know. I just set the quiz up and do it. All right, Jeremy, you're up. This is to win the game.
Okay.
This
There's
is
20 words
this
on
was
here.
just a what do they call this? A humiliation ritual. There was no winning. It
Yeah.
was just to make me feel stupid.
And then I guess if you don't answer this, we just go until one of you get one of the words.
All right, let's go.
Jeremy, you're up.
I'm just trying to think of the most generic thing ever.
If you think of the most generic thing ever, you'll get it. You should get number one. Every PS3 game had this in the name.
Oh, Final. How about Final? I know that's not it, but talk about Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
and
Final's
Final.
not in there. And again, like Final Fantasy wouldn't count as Final because it's the name of the franchise. Not. It would be like
Final Fantasy.
Lightning
Awakening.
Return.
Tagline. It's like the
It's a tagline. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Now I got into penalty shootouts, guys. Joe, you're up first. So if you get it right, Joe, Jeremy will then have to get it right to say.
I'm gonna say cars. Car.
Oh. Not on there.
I'm literally going like 4-year-old words. Blue.
Jeremy, to win the game.
I said Assault. Yeah, I did say Assault. Days of. Man, this is hard. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, I have one. I don't know.
Armageddon.
Armageddon's not on there. Joe?
What about HD?
Not on there. If
That bullshit is on like a million games.
They ain't gonna be on there. Sorry.
1080p.
Jeremy?
1080p? No. Fort. Revenge.
It's a good one.
It's a good one, but it's not on there.
Revengeance. Then I'm sorry.
Joe? We might make this the final round and then I'll just reveal the
This is sad.
Oh, but you just ask us like, what number are you thinking of until we guess that?
Yeah. Between 1 and 10.
Something like that. I'm gonna say part 2.
Not on
Part-
there.
With the word part. No. God, this is stupid.
Jeremy?
Age.
Not on there. Well, guys, it's happened. We've had a 0-0 tie in today's quiz.
Don't feel bad,
No.
man. This was like rigged.
Today's quiz goes to the quizmaster. Pavel wins.
Yeah, seriously. Well done.
Now I do have the answers here.
Let's
I
see
need to
'em.
hear this. What,
Yo,
like,
let's go. Let's go. Like I am like, how is war not on there? How's that possible?
Dead, evil.
So here's our list. Dead was number one.
Oh my god.
So Jeremy would have won the game if he answered that earlier.
That was my next guess, dead, because I
Now,
saw
where
him
I get
hat.
confused is Lego's on there as number 2. Which
Oh,
kind of
Lego
makes more
Rock
sense
Band.
compared to like.
Dragon's a good one.
Yeah, but if Lego's on there, then Call should be on there for Call of Duty
Yeah.
and everything else, right? So that's where I'm confused.
Well, Call of Duty's
Disney's
on there more
as
than
well.
Secret, you know.
But the
It's
rest
all
of them
good.
kind of make sense.
Blood,
Dead. It should have been said. Yeah, Dead. Yeah,
time.
Dead Island.
And then Disney's again more of like a name rather
Yeah,
than
Disney. I wouldn't have said
title.
Disney. Definitely.
So
What is it? The
kind of
Super
contradicts the
Nintendo?
rules, but yeah, it was kind of a fun idea.
Man. At least we
All
both
right,
look
thanks for
stupid.
playing. Mario won today's quiz.
Good
Well
job.
done, Mario.
You got
Stop.
way more right than us. Look, just ask questions like when did this game come out, and I can answer it. Okay, that's all. That's the only thing I know.
What?
No,
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
make you
like,
think
what's the
around
name of the
here.
purple
Everything can-
dragon?
It's hard to
Oh,
keep
God.
initiating after 70 quizzes, but it's we've had some really cool ones lately, so I like the
Mhm.
using lists and different things like that.
No, quizzes are awesome, and they're hard to come up with twice a week. Trust me, it's a lot of work and time. And like
Oh,
you
yeah.
said, I think people are it's like people are like, how come you don't talk about this? I'm like, we've done 180 million episodes. We
Yeah,
talked
I know,
about it.
I
We
know,
talked
I
about
know.
it. We talked about it. Trust me.
I get
You're
messages.
like, why are they
from
talking about
people like,
cooking? Because this is what happens.
yeah,
after
let's do an
100
episode on this. It's like, yeah, we've done 3 of them. Why don't you do this? We've done like 4 of those.
Yeah. That
We
was good
just
stuff.
get on there and we just start talking and see where the conversations lead us these days.
Mm. Speaking of topic of the show, Nintendo hates preservation. What do you guys think about Nintendo going after preservation, as I like to call it?
I mean,
I
that's
am
usual.
not surprised because it's Nintendo. Like, they've pretty much gone after everything that fans have done on YouTube or in the past of other systems, etc. So I'm not surprised. I'm more surprised it took them this long to go after it. And
How long was it out for?
it's been out since pretty much the Switch came out. I know for a fact that like 10 million people legally downloaded Tears of the Kingdom. So that was probably like we just lost a bit of money here. You know, let's really start to like take these guys to court. But I brought up last week that Nintendo tend to do this when a new system comes out to increase sales. So maybe it's got to do with them putting a new system out in the next couple of years.
Yeah, they do seem to have. They did something. I remember, like towards the end of the 3DS life cycle, they kept doing firmware updates to try to screw with the people who would hack their systems, and they kept doing that. And I was very confused by that too, because it's like, why? It's on its way out. I don't get it. And I guess that makes sense though if they think that would make them sell more systems. But does it? I mean,
I think
does
they're
it?
targeting the hackers. They're targeting like the average gamer who can get a thing hacked from their friends. Suddenly it's not working anymore, and they're just like, I just give up. I'll just buy the new thing, you know. And that, like, I mean, I'm in that category. I'm sure more people are in that category than know how to jailbreak devices and different things like that. It takes a specialized person to be able to do that.
Well, I feel like modding a Switch is actually pretty hard. It's not simple as like a 3DS used to be. Like as far as I know, right now you have to buy like third-party devices to do it, or like solder your system, or do some crap like that. So I'd say your average Yuzu user isn't actually even using it on a modded Switch. They're just emulating Switch games on a PC. And I bet a lot of them are legitimately people who are just fans of Nintendo that would like to play their games in higher FPS and higher resolution. Like
They definitely need a new system. Nintendo.
yeah, I mean, let's be real here. Like if you own some godly gaming PC, which you don't even need to emulate Switch games, but let's say you do, like why wouldn't you want to play your games in 4K or 60 FPS or 120 FPS or whatever the hell you can get them to run at? You know what I mean? Like I totally understand that. Does that mean that's what like, you know, are there a lot of people that were using it to steal in games? Sure, of course, but
You're always
people
gonna
aren't
have
buying it anyway. They're not buying it anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and also this, you got also, if I'm not mistaken, isn't the Switch like also like almost the #1 selling console of all time now? Isn't it?
It's
Catching
probably
up
going
to
to be.
PS2?
It's probably going
Okay.
to be.
All right. So maybe relax. Maybe relax. You
Nintendo
guys
don't
are like,
care. They
you're-
want
you're-
all their money. They want all their money.
but they're not gonna get any more money. I mean, I guess they got a couple $1 million, but that's like nothing to them. Like,
They're like
it's
the biggest company in Japan. I'm pretty sure they're the biggest like company in Japan. Like there's a Switch in like everywhere. So they're not hard on money. I think they're just like so protective of their IP and like they make examples out of everybody. I think there was like a story in the 90s where this is even before like, you know, the internet was big. There was somebody like a artist making like you know, adult Pokemon like comics online. They were posting it on like websites. And Nintendo, they brought somebody to their house and took all their stuff in the 90s.
There was a similar incident in the 80s with Mario porn, and Nintendo bought the license to it, so no one's ever going to see it.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to mention, and Jeremy sort of just mentioned it then, is because Nintendo is so big, they're not doing this to make money. They're doing this so everyone else out there who's thinking, you know, I can make a company that does Nintendo hack ROMs. They're doing this so those guys all know that
example.
if I do this, I'm going to be sued. It mightn't be today, it mightn't be tomorrow, but in 5 years, I'm going to be sued by Nintendo, and I don't want to do that. Because guess what? There's already 2 new companies out there doing Nintendo ROMs. Like, it's not like they're stopping it at all. They're trying to prevent it. They're trying to get people doing it. They're holding out, and if they can do this and get people to buy their systems, they make more money, and it makes sense.
Yeah, I think that from that point of view, it actually makes sense. It's not more about gaining money or even stopping Switch piracy, because it's like the genie's out of the bottle. It's so far into the light. That war is lost. It's over, you know. But maybe it's like more like a cooling effect to try to intimidate people from doing it to the next system. You know what I mean? Like maybe they're like, you know, don't do this to the new Switch when it comes out, you bastards. We're going to come for you this time. We're not screwing around. Maybe, and that would make sense.
It's gonna happen no matter what, though.
Of course,
always. So they can't.
Emulation
really
is destiny. It's not going.
They should just embrace it. I don't know why they don't, but
it's absolutely ludicrous to me that they don't have a database that you can just go on and buy ROMs from them. Like,
they
why
make so
not?
much money.
And they don't need to do. They could literally just throw the entire Nintendo library up there, 99 cents a ROM, and just let people download them whenever they want. And they would have people constantly going on there and just being like, "Here's $100, and buying the 100 games all the time." People would, and then also that would shut up all those preservationists who say, "Well, I have to pirate because I can't buy them. It's not possible. I have no choice to buy. I have to steal them. I have no choice." Everybody likes to say that. In reality, do you really have no choice? I mean, you can buy a lot of the games physically. Yes, they're expensive. Yes, they're rare. No, not everybody can own them. I understand all these arguments, but can you?
I can even do that at like $10 a pop. And I'm still going to go buy every single Pokemon game ever for the Switch, Mario games on old systems that aren't on the Switch, etc. And like they would make a killing, and they wouldn't physically. You don't have like if you're selling a game on an online store. I don't know how much it's costing in IP fees and everything, but you're not physically producing something and sending it out there. How much money is it actually costing you to do this? It would be like 0.0 cents, right? Surely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it would get more complicated once you get into like, you know, third-party games and all that shit, because they don't own every game that was on their system. Are they gonna have to pay?
I'm just talking about Nintendo-owned games, like their own IPs.
A lot of the games were lost on the eShop though, in terms of like like, you know, exclusive to the like the Wii U and the 3DS eShops.
Yep.
So and they shut that down last year, right? So
yes,
you'd like to think that they still own or have property rights to these games and can like find them again and redo them, but Some of them will
But they
definitely be
won't.
long.
Some games they won't though. They don't care. They just care about what sells. Like
Yeah, they care
Zelda,
about
Mario.
the 10% that everyone is meant to play, but 90% of games, and it's even higher than that figure, get lost to time, and it's so sad.
That's sad. Yeah.
Yeah, and they won't. I don't feel like they're going to do it or invest in it because from their perspective, it's like giving us more options to play these games just is like we won't buy. They in their mind that's one less Switch 2 they'll sell or one less copy of Mario Kart 8 they'll sell. You know what I mean? Like Sony has that attitude too. Like you can tell they really do not want us to care about their old games and want
No.
to play the old game. They don't. They begrudgingly were like, yeah, all right, we'll throw some games on our service. You happy now? But even that's like they're not really supporting it or celebrating it.
Not at all. I would get
doing
it if
much
they
with it.
supported it
Yeah.
properly. I would get it, but they don't.
Dude, what was the last time they added a PS2 game? Like, is it like let's say
Do they have PS2 games on there? I'm like,
I mean, it's like I don't know. It's
ridiculous.
definitely because to them it's like they say, well, first off, nobody plays old games. That's what they all say, which I find funny because it's like, no, that's not true, man. It's just we're not playing old games on your service.
Yeah.
That's we're playing old hardware. We're playing emulated things on our Steam Decks and our computers and our PCs and our hacked this and hacked that. And I'm not paying $100 a year to play these games necessarily. Like, but if you offered me a service, like I do buy, like at least that's what I do like about the PlayStation Store is I have the option of purchasing the games individually for download. Like, I threw the Quake games on there, the Doom games on my system, Twisted Metal 1, 2, Twisted Metal Black, all those games when they got announced. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll download those and keep them on the game system. But yeah,
they should always be a la carte. Like I want to buy them individually, or like always have the option. I'll probably.
And you should own them forever. Like what happened to the Wii Shop, man? Like that's some bullshit. Like I know a lot of people who put a lot of money into
I love the Wii Shop.
Yeah, and I know people who spent a couple $100 on games, getting all the NES games and everything, and I'm sure they're still there on your system if you have them. But that's bullshit that you don't have access to those, and now you got to pay for a Nintendo Switch Online, and guess what? Half those games aren't even there. So now you're paying for online games, to play games that not necessarily like they're good games on that service. There are, but
yeah,
gaming is a very personal thing. It is not a one size fits all hobby at all. Like one of the reasons people take pride in their collections is because it's an expression of who they are and what they like. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like if you go to someone's house and they have a collection of all stuff that you don't collect, you're like, oh, that's cool. That's nice. But if you go to someone's house and they have a collection of all stuff that you'd collect, that you're into, that you like the same way, you're like, oh, this guy has the same taste as me, same attitude as me. Like it's an expression of who they are. So it's like
you're so much more excited. I see like my holy grails at someone's place.
Yes,
it's not just like a oh my god. It's like a oh my god. Like this is insane. Like there's 2,000 of these in the world, and I own one, and you own one. That is so cool. Meanwhile, like the roommate has no idea what it is and doesn't care.
It's like you guys are lame, man. What's wrong with y'all? The
box. And if you think like, if a lot of people, if you want to play old Nintendo games or Super Nintendo games, there are like new generation of people who've never played those games who may want to go and experience them. The majority of those people are people who are nostalgic for them and they want to go back and play games they played as the kid. And that's such a different thing for a different person. Like somebody might have someone's favorite game from when they were a kid could be just some stupid, weird ass, obscure game that nobody likes. That was just like that was the game that their Nana gave them on their 8th birthday, and they played that shit out of that, and they loved that. Burger Time or whatever it is. I don't care. Whatever game it is, like no, picking up Burger Time. It's a good game, but
Burger Time I've seen voted as people's best game of all time.
Sure.
If you're in the Facebook group console gamers, there's like 15,000 members, and they do this thing every week where they vote for the best video games of all time, and they have this like Hall of Fame of the games that have been voted. Like you meet a criteria, like you're number one for a certain amount of weeks. Burger Time was the second game added to the Hall of Fame, behind like awesome. Super Mario Brothers.
It's funny because that's I say that because I I love old school games. Like I like Burger Time. I like Food Fight a lot too. I don't know if you ever played Food Fight. It's like
I've never played Food Fight. No,
That's
what's
an
that
old
on?
ass game. It's like Atari, dude. Like
Oh yeah,
it's on like
I don't have a lot of experience on Atari.
I had it on the Atari XE, but I'm sure there's like 30 versions of it on. Atari's weird, dude. It's like those games were on like 50 different, versions of the Atari, the ZX Spectrum, the Coleco, there's like all, it's funny how many different versions there are. Like Popeye, there's like 10 versions of Popeye out there and stuff. Donkey Kong was like
Might have got ported to
crap,
the Commodore
dude.
64 or something.
Yeah, so when I say I like Food Fight, you could be like, that game sucked. I'd be like, well, you didn't play the right version, son.
Man,
You guys been playing anything new at the moment?
yeah. So I still use the service GameFly, believe it or not, so I can play new games for super cheap. It's actually a good service when they get your game in time. But a new game I've been playing is Prince of Persia, the new one,
Nice.
Lost Crown. It's a Metroidvania. It got good reviews. I don't know if it sold really well, but I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, it was a Metroidvania, and the art style is kind of like it makes me like reminds me of like the Nickelodeon art style, like the Samurai Jack, if you would think like that. But so far,
I love Samurai Jack, just for the record. I don't mean.
Oh yeah,
I have
so
a whole series on Blu-ray. I freaking love it.
Classic. It doesn't have the tone of it. It's not lighthearted, but it's like it's serious. But like Samurai Jack is more like I don't know. But the gameplay is fantastic. I highly recommend it. It's definitely you should buy it. I think it's like 30 or so bucks now. I might actually pick it up.
It just went on sale.
Yeah, so I think you should definitely buy that. If you like Metrovanias, you should definitely buy it. I love Metrovanias. And definitely buy that. Yeah, and Prince of Persia, I'm glad it's back. Because I enjoyed Sands of Time back in the day. I didn't play like the later ones, but yeah, I'm playing that, and I'm playing the original Final Fantasy. We talked about that a little bit. Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, and that's beautiful.
How you liking it? You liking it? Obviously,
I heard. I love it. I don't have nostalgia for it. So a lot of people are like, "This is the best game of all time." They like bow to it. I'd say it's really good. Even when like just the little characters, pixel characters, there's still a lot of motion in it. The music's great.
So good. That's the best thing. The music is so good in 7, dude. Yeah. That's in the remake that I'm playing now. Like, the music is like the number one thing that hits you right in the feels. You're like, oh god, there's that song.
It hit me in the feels, and I don't even really have the nostalgia for it. And I got to that one part with the spoilers of that everybody knows. But
yeah.
And that it still hits. But also like what's really like that I love and like old school PS1 games is the pre-render backgrounds. Like I love Resident Evil so much.
Gorgeous, dude. Yeah,
man. Sometimes I don't know where the hell I'm going in it. Like I guess you can hit select and like it'll show like the cursor like where you can go. Like I'll be completely lost, but it's worth it to see like the beautiful what they can do back then. And Terry, he told me that that's the first RPG that have pre-rendered backgrounds, and like this was the most expensive RPG or a game created back then. I think it was like 78 million. That's like small compared to today's standards, but yeah. So definitely, if you never played, I think you should definitely play it. If you like RPGs, you should definitely play it. It has a great story. It is not too hard, and it's not too easy. If as long as you level up, just fine. And boss battles is fun. There's not much negative I can say about it.
What system are you playing it on, man?
I played on the PS3, the downloaded PS1, the classics. Playing on PS3. I was just actually playing it earlier. So,
where most people are probably playing it on PS4 because it's like available or PS5 with that Pixel Remaster collection.
I wanted to play the original. I like to play like how everybody played it back in '97. So,
when I said new games before, what that means for me and Joe is just anything that we haven't talked about recently because we talk about the same games most episodes. So I have been playing something new. I mentioned the the simulator game that I've been playing, but I also restarted Elden Ring again. So I finished Elden Ring on PS5, but I have the PS4 version as well, and it has a different trophy set. So I'm restarting Elden Ring. I'm going to get up to... I'm not going for all the trophies, even though I mentioned that. I'm just going to have fun knocking them off as I play. But I'm going to get up to the point where before you beat the final boss, or after that, you don't have to go into New Game Plus. So I'm going to get up to that point, do everything, and wait with anticipation for the DLC to come out. Because I like playing DLC in those games on just regular game before, like, you know, you'll get into... I've had situations where I've been on like New Game Plus 6, and then the DLCs come out, and I'm like, oh, sweet, let's just get my file that I've got 300 hours into. And you're like, why is it so hard? But you're playing the DLC on New Game Plus 6. Of course, it's gonna be hard. So I like to play it on the intended difficulty first. So, yeah, that'll be fun. It's been so good playing Elden Ring again. That game is just so amazing. I'm not looking anything up, even though I finished the game, because it's such a big game and it's been 2 years since I've played it. I've kind of like forgotten.
Same for me. It's been 2 years.
Yeah, it's fun again because I don't know where to go and I'm exploring again, and it's just so amazing. What about you, Joe? Anything new you've been playing?
So yeah, I mean, obviously I've been playing Final Fantasy quite a bit. Like that's my number one game. And like, remember when you were asking earlier about a game you can't stop thinking about, and you think about it, I'm like, that's you know, this is it's approaching that territory where like it's the first game in a long time where I've had the urge to like call out of work to play a game. Like I've been like sitting there like,
you should have, man. You should have.
I'm the most dude. I got like 200 hours of PTO. I never call out. I am the most reliable worker on earth. I'm so boring. Anyway, so but like I really do want to, but I can't because like we're screwed right now. My job. I don't want to get into the details, but
we're already screwed.
You're already screwed. You might as well screw them all over.
No, dude, man. I can't do that to my team, man. That ain't right.
No, yeah, I'm the same way. Even though like they'd be fine without me, like I feel like they need.
Of course, they would be fine without me. I'm not saying that the place wouldn't run without me, but it's not the right time. Like we're going through a lot of transitions right now, and it's like all hands on deck, and we need a lot of help. And like my job is to help people and answer questions, and so it'd be a really shitty thing to take some time off now. Like to me,
just one day.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I will. I could always call out sick or leave early or whatever.
Yeah, leave early.
One day, then 2 days is gonna hurt.
Yeah, so I'm on chapter 7, but I apparently I missed some stuff in one of the chapters. So you get like, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's like a part in the game where if you go past the part, you have to like do like a whole like 2 chapters before you can go back. Like type things, like you're stuck. And so I just finished all that and I went back and I'm cleaning up some of that stuff. Anyway, it's great. I love it. You know, it's not the greatest RPG I've ever played or anything like that. It's not changing my life or anything.
What's your favorite RPG of all time?
I mean, it probably changes, but Phantasy Star 4 and Phantasy Star 2. 4. And 2. I really like Phantasy Star 2 a lot. A lot of people give that one.
I heard 2 is like rough to play now.
So I don't know. I guess I have those rose tinted glasses for 2. Like I played Phantasy Star 1 like a million times on my Master System when I had it. Like that was like I played that game like I can't even tell you how many times. And like when my dad got us 2, it was like a surprise. And like this is back in the day, like we didn't have game magazines or ads or anything. I didn't know Phantasy Star 2 existed. You know what I'm saying? And so like he brought that.
I had game magazines, so I knew that. That's it.
I never knew even it existed. It was one of those. I think I've told this story before. He took me and my brother to this place called Child World, and it was like a Toys R Us type place. Doesn't exist anymore. And he's like, "All right, I'm just gonna run inside real quick, and you can't come in." And we were like, "What? Are you kidding me? You took us to the toy store and we can't go in? What is this madness? What is this crazy? Like what a looter! It's like we're going like we pull up in front of Disneyland and he's like, wait in the car. We're like, what the fuck, guy? We'll stab you. What are you talking about? Like, we want to shank you, motherfucker, you know? And he was just like, I don't have time for this. I'm just gonna run in and grab something. You're gonna be really happy. Just relax, you little brats. And so we were like, fine.
You would get something or we go.
That was like the longest 10 minutes of your life.
sitting there, blah, blah, blah. And he comes trotting out, and he pulls it out of the bag, Phantasy Star 2. And me and my brother lost our fucking minds over this game. Like, I've never been happier in my life. I was like, I can't believe, like I said, I didn't even know it existed.
You didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, and so like those memories of going home and playing that game with my brothers and my dad were just like the best, because like that's when my dad still played games with us. Like he played Atari and Nintendo and Genesis, and then he literally, when the PlayStation came out, he was like, "There's too many buttons on this controller. I give up."
Really? Wow.
He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Dude, I can handle." Atari was 1 button, Nintendo and Sega Master was 2, Genesis was 3. Now you're pushing it with 3 buttons, okay? That's a lot of me to handle. And then he saw the PlayStation with the Dual Shock, and he's like, "Fuck, no, done." He was done.
Now is no buttons nowadays. They just play on the phone.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
reverse.
Mobile games, gross.
I
For the record,
buttons. I need as many buttons as possible.
AJ want to know if I like Phantasy Star 3. No. It is definitely clearly the worst out of the first 4 games, but I don't hate it or anything. Like, let's put it to you this way. My memory of that game was the exact opposite of the 2 story, where I was like, 2, I'm like, it was the best times ever. 3 came out and I was like, we were all like, what's this shit?
It's the worst times ever. Okay.
It was just, so it was like developed like a totally different team of people, and it seemed like a totally different game that just like became a Phantasy Star game. And like the music was really meh, and like the combat looked meh, and like the graphics and the animations, everything about it was meh. Story was good. Story was cool. Like, so the actual story in Phantasy Star 3 is dope. And like the way it works is you can get married and have, it's called generations, and you can have kids. And like, depending on who you marry determines what your character will be. So you can play the game and have like different main characters depending on who you get married to, which is cool. I thought that was neat. Like, that's a pretty cool thing. But overall,
that's pretty good for like early 90s. Yeah.
It was cool. But like I said, it's garbage. If you play Phantasy Star 4, it destroys. Phantasy Star 4 is incredible. Like, if you're going to play just one Phantasy Star game,
I plan on playing that one because that's all I've heard.
I would play 4 just because it's like it's got everything the other games have and like more. It's so good. 4 is incredible.
Phantasy Star 4 and Final Fantasy 4. That's when like the series made that jump, I guess, to like.
Yeah, and then Phantasy Star became Phantasy Star Online and went in a totally different direction. And those games are
the online ones.
No, I never played those games. Surprisingly, you figured I would with my WoW addiction and how much I like Phantasy Star, but.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine that played Phantasy Star like you played WoW. So like there's that there as well.
Yeah, it was an MMO. It's the full deal. I know people probably put hundreds of hours into it. And then you could get a keyboard for it and everything. It was cool. I mean, it's just it was weird to me because it was almost like a PC game on a console. And like, I don't know, it's just you
play on the Dreamcast?
I think a Dreamcast, maybe the GameCube too.
Yeah, there's a GameCube version of it. Yeah,
I think so. And then, but you got to understand too, like that type of gaming that is not conducive in a household with 3 people who want to play games. There's no way an MMO that would have been a never-ending. Get off. My turn. Let me play it. Get off. My turn. Get off. It would just it would not like my house. We needed multiplayer games, and we needed like games that we could. But we did like RPGs because we worked together. Because back then we didn't have help. Like it was literally like trial and error. Like you played for 3 hours. Did you figure out how to get out of this goddamn dungeon? Did you find the thing? Anybody? You know what I mean? Like we'd all work together. It was so much fun. Like the original Phantasy Star was so fun, dude. Because like there was like secrets in it and shit, and you had to figure it out. Like the last boss, like. Couldn't even see it. Like I don't want to spoil anything. But
you had a master
figure out how to even.
Yeah,
I had a master system. I started off with. Yeah, I started off with Atari, and Master System and Sega. My house was like a Sega house, and then my parents got divorced, and we had my mom get like all the Nintendo stuff. You know what I mean? So like my dad, I always had like a Master System and a Genesis, and then my mom's had like a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo and stuff like that. That's how we played it.
Nice.
So on Christmas,
Yeah, the console wars, man. The console wars.
Not in my house. I got to play it all, baby. But it was tough back in the day. Like I was like, balls deep in Final Fantasy 2 or something, and then like they had split custody, so I'd have to go back to my dad's house and be like 4 days being like, oh, just want to play, like
you gotta get back together. Come on.
Well, and then she didn't understand this either. So like, me and my brother, we'd be like, I play Link to the Past. And we'd be tweaking, we got to play this. And we go back to her house and she'd be like, all right, go outside and play. And we were like, dude, we're only here for like 2-3 days. We're playing Link to the Past. She's like, no, you got to go out and be kids. We're like, no, lady, we're playing. Like it was like a constant thing. Like, so.
And it's not like you can just take the console with you. Didn't work like that.
Oh no, not allowed to bring anything. No, that's not happening. Anyway, I went way off topic there.
Sorry, I like to know people's history of the games.
Yeah, no, that's all good. And then I've been playing a shmup called Trigger Heart X Celica. I don't know if I think I showed it off one of them. It's like a Dreamcast shmup that got ported to the Switch
that
recently.
Sounds very familiar, yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's a shmup, so it is what it is. But it has like this mechanic where you shoot a harpoon, and like you can grab enemies, and you spin the enemies around yourself, and you can like chuck them.
That sounds awesome.
And then when you spin the enemies, the ship will cancel bullets. So like say there's a ton of bullets, if you swing it around and through, it'll like clear the bullets out, and then you chuck it at the thing, and they're like, it's cool, it's interesting. It's kind of a gimmicky thing. So shmups like those are like they're fun, but like they're not like a regular shmup is just like dodge the bullets. That's what it's all about. This is like anything that has a cancel mechanic is like a little gimmicky or whatever, but it's fun either way. It's a good game. I haven't 1cc it. I'm getting my ass kicked. And then I've been playing Plate Up with my girlfriend. I think I might have mentioned that too, but it's like a cooking restaurant sim type thing, kind of like Overcooked
thing.
Yeah, and it is really, 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 really fun. Like I love that. It's like if you're into that style of co-op games, freaking love it. Highly recommend. It's called Plate Up, and I don't know what's going on, but like the PS4 version and the collector's edition seem to either they're saying they're sold out, which I don't know. I think maybe they got pushed back the release date or something like that, but I can't get the damn thing. I don't know what's going on with it. It's supposed to come out this month, so I don't know. And yeah, that's what I'm playing. And I got some pickups too, if you guys want to.
Yeah, show them up, Joe. So on top of all the awesome games you've been playing, what have you been picking up?
This is what I've been picking up. This is what I will be playing. So I actually talked about these games the other day when RPG Life was on, JRPG Life. These are the Loathing games.
Nice.
West of Loathing and Shadows of Loathing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's like this super hyper simplistic stick figure-y like art style. This game is an RPG, like turn-based RPG, like an old school RPG. But this is one of those like really funny narrative-driven experiences where it's like super funny. So like if you're into like Undertale or those types of games that are like just supposed to be, it's like the story is what it's all about, and the humor. Like if you want to like laugh a lot, like these are great games. I haven't played the sequel yet. This is the new one, Shadows of Loathing. This just came out. So this has a release on the Switch from Limited Run Games as well, which is like a really expensive version. But Serenity Forge just re-released the first game and then the sequel.
Sweet.
And what's cool is I tweeted about these, and the CEO of Serenity Forge liked my tweet. I thought that was neato.
Nice.
So throw that
nice.
there. I was like, who's this guy? And it's like, I'm like, oh no shit, he's the CEO.
You love when companies reprint their own games that are expensive.
Well, I mean, they limited run. I don't know what the heck how that works. Who did what? But yeah. So this I had. I've been eyeballing this for a while, and I had this at a ton of Amazon points. So I got this for like $10 with my Amazon points. So I picked up Blasphemous 2. I think it has a PS5 release. I don't think this got released on PS4. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been looking for a PS4 copy. I would love to get one, but I don't think they got one. So I own Blasphemous on Switch for the first one. I owned it on PS4 for the first one. So anyway, I grabbed this because it was super cheap and it doesn't exist on PS4. I'll probably get it on PS5 too. And then I don't know if anybody cares, but I think Video Games Plus has like a super fancy collector's edition for this game if you want it. It's like $100, but it looks neat. But it's the same cart or whatever. It's just you get more stuff. Oh yeah, and if you're not familiar with these games, what they are, it's like a 3D Metroidvania type thing with like gothic art, really dark, gross art type shit. Yeah, it's on sale for like it's on sale for like $30, and then I had like points on my card, so I got it for 10 after my points. Pretty happy with it. And then this game, yeah, baby, you were just talking about it, brother.
Yes.
That's when you're like, I think it's on sale. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely on sale. Yeah.
Nice.
You have to say the PS4 version too.
Oh hell yeah, I have to say I go for the PS4 version of everything first and foremost if I can, and then I get the Switch version second, and then the PS5 version if I have to. Anyway, so this game, I feel it didn't sell as well as I think they wanted it to, and I just think the price point was too high. It was like $50 they wanted for this game or something like that.
I think it's fair. I think 40 would probably be better because like Helldivers is selling like crazy. It was $40.
I think Helldivers is a much more better experience than a 2D Metroidvania. Like, I'm just sorry, it's just like you can't. I just feel like these style of games, like unless you are like you're Nintendo and it is Metroid itself, like you can't charge more than $30 for these games. And like as soon as this dropped to $30, I bought it because that's the right price point for this, in my opinion. Humbly,
it's great though.
So I feel like the problem though is Ubisoft themselves don't really release $30 games.
Yeah, they don't.
So
they make the quadruple A games. Remember, they make the high price games.
And they probably put a lot of money into that too. So they probably wanted their money back from what they put in.
It's pretty high budget for a 2D.
Yeah, it does look awesome. And I mean, I'm not saying it isn't worth what they're asking. I'm not. It's just in the market for what they're offering, I can get a million like 2D action games that are good games for $30 or cheaper. Like you go on Red Art Games right now and get 30 2D action games that are Metroidvania games right now that are fun games. Like not, this might look cooler, might be better, the franchise, whatever. I don't care, but I'm just being real.
I mean, you can pick up Castlevania these
tough sell.
$30. Like
yeah,
that's what you're competing with.
Exactly. It's a tough sell. So
it is a tough sell. Yeah, that's why I didn't buy it yet. I'm going to buy it, but yeah.
Yeah. So it was weird. Like it was $30 on Amazon for this version, but the Switch one was still like 47 or some shit. But then Best Buy had the Switch version on sale for 30, so I ordered the Switch version from Best Buy. So that should be coming in a couple days too. So I picked God Eater 2, Rage Burst.
Nice cover.
It is nice. So this is a weird one. So there's a day one edition, and the day one edition, if you get that version, comes with a download code that includes the first game. But it's just a code. So in my mind, when it comes to collecting, that means it's not on the disc. So there's literally no reason for me to spend extra money to get the day one edition because I don't give a shit about a download code. It doesn't mean anything to me. Like if it's not on the disc, I don't care. So I went this version because it's just way cheaper and it was new and sealed. And I'm like, I'll just take that because down the line, the download code is not going to mean shit to me anyway. I do have God Eater 3. And then God Eater 1, I was doing some research on it. Like, so the digital version, like the one that this comes with, obviously that has English. And then there's a Japanese and maybe an Asian copy of the first game on disc, but I can't confirm if it has English.
Is there not a North American version?
Not on the first
I
game.
always thought there was a North American version. There's not a PAL version either. Like, it always annoyed me. I'm like, I need to get the North American version because I got
No,
two.
at least on the not on PS4. There
Yeah,
may be.
yeah.
There could be like PSP. I think there's a PSP version. I know it's. I don't know if they're gonna US release or, but I know there's a Japanese version that plays in English, I believe. Anyway, long story short, there's a physical of this on PS4 for the first game from Japan, but I don't know if it's got English on the disc or if it's English compatible with the patch, or I have no idea. So I might have to do a little more research on that, which means I'll probably have to buy it and stick it in my PlayStation and find out. That's what I mean by research.
Or if you let us know, let us know in the comments. That'd be cool.
Speed Killer says God Eater's on the PSP in the West, so that makes sense to me. I know. I'm pretty sure. I know it's on the PSP. I just didn't know if it was a Western release. Yeah, they look good good games though. I want to get like all of the I don't know, anime inspired type games, I guess. I also picked up a Road to the Masters.
Nice.
PGA Tour.
Beautiful artwork.
Yeah, I don't like sports games, but I love golf games. Makes sense.
You play golf?
I don't play golf in real life. I mean, I have. But I don't play like on a regular basis or anything like that. My roommate's obsessed. He plays like 2-3 times a week when it's nice out. But I've just always loved golf games. Don't know why. I just think they're so fun. Even like the real simmy ones or whatever like this. And this is EA's first golf game in a long time. Like they used to make all the Tiger Woods games.
Oh yeah,
They stopped making those, and then they made one game on the PS4, the Rory McIlroy PGA golf game or whatever, which was a decent game, and then that was it. They haven't done anything. So this was like the first.
2014 was the last one, I think. Apart from that,
yeah, which was Tiger, I think.
Yeah.
I think that was Tiger.
Oh, so that probably coincided with all the drama and blah blah blah, I guess, and then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, anyway, this is like their first new game, and it's pretty fun. You know,
who makes
it's EA?
So there wasn't golf games before that. Well, who makes the golf games? Other than
there are other companies like 2K makes PGA.
Okay,
PGA, 2K.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's tons of other games like the Golf Club and
Everybody's
PGA
golf
games.
and
Yeah, and there's tons of golf games. I'm just saying this is the first EA like
in a while.
The people who made the Tiger games,
which
I really like.
I'm familiar with the Mario golf games.
They're good. Don't knock Wii Sports Golf. It's good.
Oh yeah.
Mario Toadstool Golf on the GameCube is freaking amazing.
It is.
And,
they're bringing back football, the NCAA football.
Yeah,
you
for a long time.
And
it's always getting licensing issues and not wanting to pay the athletes enough money and different things like that. So
they're paying them $600 each player. They're paying $600 to be.
That's what they would have come to an agreement on. But yeah, that's been that has been in dispute for like 15 years. So that's literally the reason we don't have NCAA sequels.
Yep.
I was going to say that's why the year that came out is worth so much money. I'm curious if that'll affect the value.
People still play that. Like the online community is huge on that because you can update rosters online, and people have done that, and yeah, it's crazy.
Let me finish real quick. Sorry, I'm taking too much time. Did I show this off already? I might have. I picked this up. I don't know if I showed it off.
Yeah.
I actually played it. I liked it.
It looks good. I love Aliens, the franchise. This is Dark Descent. This is like the strategy one.
Oh, never mind. I lied. I played the other one.
Yeah, Fireteam Elite is the other one that came out recently. So this one's more like a strategy top-down game with aliens. Like it looks cool.
Saying that the Yakuza games are technically golf games, just like how the Tekken games are technically bowling games.
Oh man,
right.
Tekken bowling, so much fun. So much fun.
I got this from Super Rare. Ship of Fools. This
What's
is a
that?
couch co-op game. Like, so I'm always looking for games to play with my girlfriend. And this is like a 2-player couch co-op game. Or you might even be able to play with more than 2 players. I think it's just 2. But you're on like a ship, and you have to run around and manage the ship as a team. That's pretty much all I know. Looks dope. And
Couch
like, I
co-op
really
games are rare these days.
exactly. The whole experience is like such a pain in the ass. And like, dude, like, oh my god, speaking of that golf game, trying to set that up just to play couch co-op is such a pain in the ass, dude, because it's like thinks we're using the same controller, and like we couldn't set it up so that I could swing with the left stick and my friend could swing with the right stick. Wouldn't let us do that. It's like one or the other. You either both use the left stick or you both use the right stick. You can't each pick. I was like, that's the dumbest shit. Anyway, that really irritated me. And then I got a new PlayStation magazine.
Hell yeah. Is that Snake?
Oh yeah,
Titus?
baby. It's
Titus,
the
Titus?
PlayStation preview for 2001.
Get some Dark
Love it.
Cloud on there.
Yeah, so we got Dark Cloud. This is the bouncer.
The bouncer. I thought that was Titus.
It does kind of look like him. This is the guy from the bouncer. You got Snake. This is right here, the Kane
Oh,
from
Kane.
Soul Reaver. And I
Who's that
don't
in the
know who
back?
that is.
I haven't
Onimusha,
seen that
maybe?
one.
Wait, can you put a little
Onimusha?
closer?
I think that's supposed to be Onimusha.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Because it says Copcam Shocker, a new type of horror on PS2 Devilman. Wait, no.
Yeah.
No, that's
The art
Devilman.
style is just a little different. Like the look of it.
Oh no, it's definitely, because if you look right here, it says like the names of the games. So it says Metal Gear, The Bouncer, Onimusha, Twisted Metal Black.
2001, man. That was one of the best years ever. So
Heck
many
yeah,
great
dude.
games.
Yeah, we got GTA 3. Yeah, it was a good year.
Crazy.
I love the articles where it's like, you know, will Resident Evil, Code Veronica be any good? You know, I love reading these articles. Like it's like
Yeah.
so funny to see them speculate
It's
about
history,
these.
man.
That
Yeah,
were-
well,
they're
I like the
classics,
Dark Cloud one, the PlayStation Zelda Killer, and I literally
Yeah.
it's my favorite RPG. So I'm like, that works.
And then my last pickup, I grabbed the silver plates
Oh, nice one.
Beautiful.
to go with my silver controller. And yeah, that's what it looks like with the silver plates. I think that looks really nice. Kind of gives it more of a classic vibe.
PS1.
Yeah.
Yeah, They should do like a anniversary edition that has like the actual
Man.
PS1
Love it.
colors with like the old logo or something like that. That'd be really cool. But yeah, I really like the silver. I think it looks really good. So
What are we up to? We just had the 30th anniversary. So 35 we can't be weird. They gotta wait till 40.
Oh, man. It is a 30th
Take the
anniversary.
fucking time. I don't need to be no 40th anniversary of shit right now, all right? Jesus Christ. All right. I'm like, time is already just like sucking away like a vacuum. Like it's just like February was like it's gone.
February didn't happen. It
What
just
the
skipped it to the 29th. It's when
It was meant to be a
conference-
longer month too.
I paid my mortgage. I went to bed. I woke up. It was March 9th to pay my mortgage. I was like, what the fuck?
you just wake up to pay mortgage.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some more PS1 games to show you guys.
Oh, PS1.
Yeah, so here we have Jupiter Strike.
I like that game actually quite a bit.
Yeah, this is
Is it?
like a space flying game. Like that
Pretty sure
genre
we get that a
was
lot.
back in the PS1 day.
We got that as a
Beautiful
long
artwork.
box, I think.
Yeah, long box version. Yeah.
So instead of long boxes over here, we just got the full artwork. This would have been a 1995 or 1996 release.
Also, your cases are way better than ours.
Yeah, these ones are amazing, but they're very fragile. So,
Oh
like,
yeah,
if you get a damaged one, it's hard to replace them, etc.
this shit right here is bullshit.
Now, earlier on, we've seen one of my Legacy of Kain games. Here's the other one. So you have Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaper.
That game is one of the best looking PS1 games for sure.
Definitely, yeah. It's on the
Yeah.
Dreamcast as well. It looks even better.
It looks really good on the Dreamcast.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Dreamcast. God, that was such a nice system.
The look of Dreamcast games is beautiful. I love it.
Gorgeous.
Like, the clean look, it still looks good.
Now,
When
here's
I-
one
when
that's a bit of a hidden gem, especially the sequel on PS2. A really good racing game, and that is Lego Racers.
Oh yes.
So much fun. This is
Yeah.
really good. This is in the American style, Australian case. Yeah, this is surprisingly hard to get on PS2. It's quite expensive. The second one.
It is on the PS2.
Yeah, the sequel is.
Okay, can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
This game right here, NASCAR Rumble. I don't have the case for it. Definitely play that. The game is so much fun. It's like a arcadey NASCAR game. Great. I just wanted to.
I used to play a NASCAR game like on PC in the early 2000s. I wonder if it was the same game.
It might have been that.
no idea.
That game
Like,
is fun. It has like power ups like Mario Kart.
Okay,
Nice.
Next
I
one, a
really
racing
might
game that
remember
isn't
this
as good. A bit of a cheesy one, and you got a lot of those on the PS1 era. And that's London Racer 2. You kind of just like race around the streets of London in minis and stuff.
That definitely didn't come out in America.
Mhm.
That
No,
definitely did
sure.
not come out in America.
This one's pretty cool. We have The Lost World, Jurassic Park. I never actually played
Australia's
this one.
most wanted.
Looks like a fighting game down the bottom.
Yeah, it does. Is that a Mortal Kombat clone?
Dude.
No,
Literally looks like it.
Jurassic Park has to be one of the most. It's like the Ghostbusters games. It's like, how do you guys
Yeah.
not know how to make games that are like good with such an easy setup? Like, it's
So
how do you
simple.
not? You know what I mean? Like, there are quite a few Jurassic Park games that when you play them, you're just like, what the fuck is this?
Ghostbusters was fun on the PS3. That version was cool.
yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I'm talking about the old ones, like the original Ghostbusters games. Oh goodness.
Well, this next one's
Yeah.
a really good game. It's really cool. It is called Lucky Luke. This was a lot of fun, like an old Western style shooter with like platforming elements as well. Yeah, real lot of fun. This one, really cool art style to it.
I've
And
never
for a
heard of it,
PS1 game,
but it does look good.
definitely holds up.
I've never heard of this.
Probably a
This
palette
might have to
suit.
go on the Steam Decks. I might have to go on the Steam Deck, Figsy. I've never seen that. It looks nice. That's the PS1.
Free.
has a
I'm going
million
to show
good
you
games,
guys
dude.
really quickly. I only own them because they're like the most common PS1 game, and they've just come through my hands in lots, and I haven't sold them. And that is all the Mary, Kate, and Ashley games. So there's 3 of them.
Woo!
Likely Story. Those are like
Yeah.
the first things you bought in your collection. They were actually, he took them.
You gonna
He
get them
has the-
graded?
Yeah, he has. I was just gonna say, he keeps them in acrylic cases under these lights and this glass thing in his living room. But he just brought them down for the episode.
Oh, sure.
It's gonna be in your
on,
dreams
the, on, the,
tonight.
on the rotating thing, you know what I mean? You got with the floodlights.
This next one's pretty cool. This is MDK.
Oh yeah.
That is a good
So
game.
like an alien shooter type game. I like the sticker it's got on the front from Traded Games, fully guaranteed, $29.
That's
Nice.
the American version.
That's a good game. There's
Yeah.
a sequel to that on the PS2.
Yeah, the PS2, yeah.
Yeah, I've never
I
played
think
the
they have
sequel.
a
I've
staple
always
of
been curious.
PlayStation that ended in the PS3. I don't know why. And of course, it's Medal of Honor. And here's the first one.
That game's great. It's still
Yeah,
good.
first Medal of Honor was like this was Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty used to look up to Medal of Honor.
Oh yeah, and then it switched. Yeah.
That
game's still
wild,
one
man.
of my favorite PlayStation 1 games. Played this as a kid. Wasn't very good at it. Since played as an adult, also wasn't very good at it. There's a sequel. I never played the sequel, and I don't have it. It's on my list. I haven't got many games left on a list of PS1 games, but there are a few. But I do have the first one, and that is Medieval.
Nice.
Absolute classic. There is a remake on PS4 with trophies. A lot of fun, but it is quite a tough game. So
Yeah.
yeah, like how they used to make games back in the day. They're hard.
You know what the hardest enemy is in that game?
Sorry, Joe?
You know what the hardest enemy in that game is? The fucking camera.
Like a lot of old school games.
Brutal.
Fighting
Brutal
the
camera. Just
And then
Oh
we
my
saved
goodness.
two for last, two very special ones. And they sort of go hand in hand. Of course, that is Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid Special Missions.
Woo! Look at that art. That's my favorite PS1 game.
Classics. These
So-
both have the double cases as well, so they look cool when they sit in the collection like this.
So is it special missions?
Oh
Is
my
that the
God.
VR missions that we got?
That is so much better than American.
I'm not sure.
Because we got VR missions, but it was like a single.
Yeah,
Yes,
this is
yeah.
the VR missions. It says
Interesting.
300 VR missions. I didn't play this one, so
This
I'm
is
not
the
sure.
VR missions one.
Yeah,
Okay.
why did you get such a cool case? What the deuce? God,
Yeah.
Australia has got cool cases.
That's
you did.
way
That is
better.
cool. Yeah, man.
Where? I don't know where.
We only got 299 missions. What the fuck? No, I'm just kidding.
And that leaves us at M. So we'll continue off with some more M games on the next podcast. You got any pickups for us, Jeremy?
Oh, I do. I have a little bit, just a couple games, and it's all Final Fantasy games. I guess it's just a Final Fantasy year so far for me.
Yeah.
So Terry, he got this off of GameStop. They're doing like a big sale. He got it for cheap. I think he just got this to get free shipping, like over a certain amount. I played this like a couple, like when it first came out. I liked it. It's what is it called? Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. I guess it's a reimagining story of the original Final Fantasy. You guys ever play this?
No,
I haven't played it yet. I haven't
No.
though.
It's like it's kind of like how we were talking about earlier with Final Fantasy 16, but I think this is a better combat. It's made by Ninja Theory. I'm sorry, not
Okay.
Ninja Theory. I always get them wrong. Team Ninja,
Okay.
Neo creators, and also Ninja Gaiden, great series. I mean, this game was it was memed with the crystals, like kill, what was it? Kill the crystals or something like that. I forget, but fun game so far. Chaos, not kill the crystal, chaos, kill it, yeah.
The chaos.
Yes.
We must stop.
More Final Fantasy. I did get this controller, PS3 controller, but I showed this in my last pickup video up
That's
now on the
nice.
channel.
I love
but
PS3 controllers, bro.
yeah. I'm trying to get all of them, all the easily obtainable
me,
ones.
So I always swore up and down that was the greatest controller ever made. Is the PS2, PS1, PS like that controller just feels so right to me in my hands. But I do like now I am more used to the bigger ones now that I played with the 4 and the 5. Going back to that one does feel a little small, but God, dude, I just love the D-pad on those is the best D-pad I've ever used. I don't care what anybody says. I
was just
the
using it
D-pad.
earlier today, and it just
So
feels so good.
Yeah, dude, like playing Twisted Metal on those feels right. Like playing it on anything else, I'm like, this feels terrible. Like it just has to be on that D-pad for me.
Like Resident Evil for me, it's like the tank. Like people hate tank controls. It's so easy for me on this controller. I was showing this controller. I got.
I'll tell you one for me that there's definitely a noticeable difference, and that's Crash Bandicoot. And they actually changed the controls because it's designed for a D-pad, not an analog controller.
Some games, you can't play on the analog stick. It just doesn't feel right. So more Final Fantasy. Oh, I did get this as well. No More Heroes 3.
Oh, nice.
Jeremy, you asked me earlier, I don't know if it was before the show or right when we started, about Demon Souls remake and what I thought of it. Well, the original Demon Souls only had the 4 directionals, and then in the remake they added 360 degrees. So that's
they did
crazy update that you don't realize how much you hate the original one, like the original controller scheme, until you go back and play it, and you're like, oh, I can't do that. That sucks.
Yeah, I missed the art of it, but like I played it, like I went back to it when I first got it, the original Demon Souls, and like runs at like 10 frames per second, I swear. So that's too. But you love that chug, man. You love that chug. But No More Heroes 3, I have not beaten the first 2 yet. But do you guys know what this is a reference to? This album cover, not album cover. This cover. You know that?
It's just got cool art style and like inside
It
jokes.
looks like
too.
Sabretooth and
yeah,
Wolverine to me, but
It's a reference to Street Fighter Alpha 2, the cover.
oh yeah, okay.
I don't know if you guys you
Blanca.
ever looked it up. But
Yeah, with Blanca and Ryu or whatever. I believe.
And then 2 more Final Fantasy games.
Did that get a PS4 release or only on the Switch
This
and PS5? Yeah.
this originally came on the Switch in 2021, and then
I heard
this
it on
one-
the Switch, but I didn't
Yeah.
realize it had a PS5 release.
yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know until Terry he showed me. Like I thought it was just only on the Switch. That was a Switch exclusive. I don't think anybody bought it, unfortunately.
It got it didn't get a PS4 release that I know of. Not in the West, maybe in Japan or something. I don't know. But it got a standard and a collector's edition or a special edition, and then the Switch. I only know this because I bought the 3 on the Switch and I wanted to get 1 and 2, and like 1 and 2 aren't on any Sony console. Like
No.
One is.
Oh
or,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
PS3,
The
I mean,
Paris
PS3,
Paradise, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not on PS4 or PS5 is what I meant to say. But you can get the first 2 games. Limited Run did the 1 and 2, so you can buy them from Limited Run, or you can order a Japan copy that has 1 and 2 as a combo on the cart. So yeah, do that. Get the one.
I got them from Limited Run because I love them heroes.
Well, they're expensive now, so that's the only reason I would get the Japanese copy for the cheapness. You get both games on one cart and it's cheaper.
So believe it or not, I did not have this game. I just played my my cousin's copy of it when it first came out. Stopped playing it, then I decided I want to buy it because I'm about to beat the original. And yeah,
Nice.
remake.
Heck yeah, man!
And
And
it worked
then-
up to like what, $10 or something, right? Getting it today.
Yeah,
PS5 copy.
I think it was like I wanted to get the PS5 version, but it's like $100 plus.
It's wicked expensive because it has the Yuffie DLC on the disc or whatever.
You get it for free though? I thought you. Oh no, you got to buy the DLC. Yeah, you get the upgrade for free, like the PS5 upgrade.
Correct. Yeah, I just think you have to purchase the DLC.
That's fine. And then I don't know if you guys like steelbooks, but this is one of my favorite steelbooks. It's for
That's lovely.
Final Fantasy
12?
12.
Nice.
Now I've been looking for this steelbook. It's pretty expensive. I got it for a good deal, and I love it so much. The Final Fantasy steelbooks are great. I usually don't collect steelbooks like that. I like to have like a uniform look to my games, but I can't pass this up. Love it.
I love some of the Final Fantasy ones. They did France had a pre-order for Final Fantasy 14. It was like a special steelbook. It's so beautiful. It's my favorite.
Yeah, so great. But this is pretty. This was like $60, but I got it for super cheap, like $15 at a local game store.
Nice.
So I had to pick it up. And yeah, that's it for me. That's all I have right now.
Dude, yeah, Final Fantasy artwork is like just gorgeous. And it's funny, we've seen a lot of Final Fantasy stuff over the last few weeks. Everybody's been hyped, obviously. So yeah, it's just it's got like a really classy look to it a lot of the time too. Like it's not like, I don't know, it's like mature, I guess I'd call it. Like it's like real.
They just do that plain white with a little bit of artwork, and it's not over the top, not crazy. It looks uniform compared to all the other games, and I like that. Keeping it simple.
Yeah, and they should keep the series simple, and they need to make a nice turn-based game. Like I said, it doesn't have to be Final Fantasy 17. It doesn't have to go back to like 2D sprites and turn-based combat, but they should release like Crystal Chronicles 3 or some shit. I don't know. Come up with whatever. Or
plus.
Yeah. Yeah. Mystic Quest 2 or something. I don't know, man. Like some Paladin's Quest or whatever. I can't remember the spinoffs.
We'll get remakes and remasters before we get sequels. That's how it works these days. And then they'll doing a sequel off the sales of that.
If they did a remake of 6, I would be really down with that. I really would.
That'll be.
I love 6, man.
That'll be great. Yeah. That'll be great.
Yeah, 6 is actually my favorite Final Fantasy. Like I love 7. Don't get me wrong, but 6 on the Super Nintendo.
I'm kind of hoping that we get the 7 treatment for 6, 8, and 9. That would be the dream, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, and I don't want to make anyone upset, but I don't have much as nostalgia for 8 as much as a lot of other people do. I played 8 and I liked 8, but I wasn't into 8 as much as I loved 6 and 7 and I loved 9. 8 was just
Yeah, but
like,
then-
all right.
A lot of people's favorite game is 8, so you can see them doing all of them. It's not like
So
there's a bad one out of the 4 or anything.
I feel like I was too young and I didn't really understand 8. And now as an adult, now that I'm like I said, like I like things that are a little more complicated, and I like because I felt a little overwhelmed with 8. I didn't know what to do, like how to handle like the magic system and all this other stuff. So I don't know. I think I'd like it more if I went back and played it now.
Yeah, nice. Well, guys, on that note, we might call that one a night. Jeremy, thanks so much for coming back on the show, man. It was awesome to have you back on, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Good.
Thank you for having me. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Do it
And if you guys
anytime.
haven't already, go and drop Jeremy a sub. I've got his link in the description of the video, so go and find his channel, and yeah, definitely go see what Jeremy's been doing over there. Some awesome stuff.
Heck yeah, man. We'll have to have you back on. You can get your boy Terry to come on with you or something. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
But yeah, good stuff. And thanks for watching, everybody.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Later, guys.
You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting sets, and come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world, and show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk again when we got the fans, gonna put their knowledge to the test, gonna laugh at needs, gonna live the dream, gonna show you things you've never seen, gonna sing a song to the break of dawn, gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready, you got one more chance.